already found out. They're like, "Wait, you're working today?" I was like, "Don't ask. Just let's
I
do
have
it."
I have someone in the chat right now say Monkey D Trevi, not Brit
Yeah, I love
working a
him.
not working a 7-day week. So grateful. Yeah, no, thank you so much. I know what it's
My
like.
pleasure.
I'm gonna start. We're not streaming yet. Is anyone live already or?
Oh, I thought we were streaming. Sorry, but
Oh, you're live. Awesome.
it's
Wait,
fine.
yeah, so we're
No one tunes into my stream until like 20 minutes in, and then they're all confused as to what I'm talking about.
yeah, so we're
That's why I
all.
show up late all the time so people
Right.
can have time to come
Yeah,
in.
that's what I need to do.
I'm getting ready. All right, I'm connecting. My OBS is connected. Oh, it's 9:59. I still have to wait a minute. I technically
Oh,
am starting
okay.
at 10 p.m.
Well, we get a
Yes.
sneak peek on my channel if anyone wants to send traffic over there. But Brittany, what were you up to today? What do you usually do on your day off?
Well, I'm sort of a little bit working because I'm actually working on a members video for YouTube members right now where I show them how to budget food for the week because we're all autistic, neurodivergent, chronically ill girlies.
Ooh.
And I was like, I got you. So I've been doing that. I'm also plant-based, so I have a lot of like plant-based recipes. So I cooked all day and I took my weekly, deep cleanse shower day with curly hair. You only kind of shower once a week, your hair.
Oh,
So I
okay.
did I did that kind of reset stuff. And of course, spent time with the partner and the cat
Right.
and all that good stuff. So usually Sunday is my reset day, and then I get ready for stream starting Monday. But yeah, what about you guys? Do you work on Sundays normally? Is this normal for you?
Hey, so I'm live. I'm live right now.
Oh,
Oh, we're
Normally
live now?
Sundays,
oh.
I'm officially live now. Sundays I do normally. It depends. Ever since we
Mm,
started this show, but for me it's late at night. So like it's 10 p.m. here, kind of like for you, Brittany. It's 9 p.m. where
yeah,
Brittany's at right now. So I guess it is work, but it's at night, so I can still get a whole bunch done during the day. But because it's Sunday and in Lebanon, Sunday is like also like family day, or like you spend it
right.
also with your partner. So sometimes we've had to skip a few episodes because I either have like a late dinner with family or something like that. So, but yeah, usually, but it also depends because streaming is so like it's such a flexible thing that if something that I feel like I have to talk about or something or stream about, I'll sometimes like do a stream on a Sunday, but I'll try to avoid it if I can,
Yeah,
unless it's the
makes
show.
sense.
Yeah. And I know we're going to be like talking about Kyle Kalinske a little bit, but I got to start doing what he does more of, where he just like pops off a 15-minute video while he's in bed with his wife. Like just like Kyle's bed videos where he's essentially vlogging and he's like, "Oh, did you guys see this? Trump almost got shot again."
But in fact, by the way, for whoever's joining us, welcome to a brand new episode of Better Left Unsaid. I am one of your three hosts, Anthony. I'm joined by James from Uninformed Leftist and Comrade Casey from the North Star Radio, and we got Brittany Simon as our esteemed guest for tonight. We're going to be hanging out, talking. We got a bunch of questions ready, a lot of topics, interesting topics to talk about. So it's going to be interesting. Thank you guys for tuning in. Jim, thank you for the $20 super chat saying balloons and fireworks and hummus for Brittany Day. Whoever sends in any super chat or any support for the channel, the super chats all are like split amongst all the hosts. So we appreciate you guys' support. And if you guys have any questions or super chats directed towards Brittany, we'll make sure to ask them to her right before she gets off the stream. So make sure you guys get those questions in early. That way we can make sure to get them to Brittany. And yeah, Brittany, thank you so much for being here. And again, like we were saying off cam, you guys get to see it on James' stream if you're watching there. That you're sacrificing your one and only day off of the week to be here. So thank you. We very much appreciate you being here.
Happy to be here. Thanks.
And speaking of Kyle Kalinske, I guess the first thing we wanted to talk about is dark woke. Is it good or bad? That's something that you've talked about on your channel. That's something that I've kind of talked about as well. And once I can't remember how it was brought up, but someone was like, "Hey, Brittany's talked about this a lot," and then it kind of made me reflect on the whole thing, and I had a nice conversation with the chat. I remember about dark woke and what jokes are acceptable, what's not acceptable. Sort of, what's your take on dark woke? People like Kyle Kalinske that maybe are trying to be edgy for the sake of like trying to combat the Republicans.
So
Sure.
are we first? Sorry to cut you off immediately.
Go.
First woman on the guest, I cut her off. But how are we defining dark woke? I think we should start there because like Casey brought it up. Like, what even is dark woke? And I think a lot of people have different definitions of it. So I'm wondering, How would you define it, Brittany, when you're engaging with the idea of like we need to be, I don't know, like more resistant against Republicans? Is it that, or is it just like people being edgier?
Okay, hold on, boys. Hold on. Does anyone know my content? You can say no.
I was watching
yes.
I was watching your content
Okay.
yesterday. I got through a few of your videos, and
Okay. I asked because I do philosophy, so for people who don't
Right.
follow me, which means the focus of my content is about the individual's relationship with existence. So like, why do you wake up every day and go to work? And then, of course, that encompasses politics because everything is political. And so there's a relationship to these things. I know your content's a little bit, but I'm not an avid watcher of anyone but Anthony. So I'm still learning where your perspectives are from. So just like give me a little grace in that regard. But when I think about dark woke or I think about Kyle Kalinske, what I'm asking is from a humanity perspective, how should we show up in our communities? And if children were watching us, how would we feel about the way they received our the sense of, well, the way that we show up in the world. So I focus on children, I focus on vulnerable communities, and I focus on like, if a kid came upon my stream, what message am I sending to that child? And so that's kind of my focus. Does that kind of help ground what we're going to talk about today? Just so people understand the perspective I'm coming from. Because I think being femme presenting, I just think I come into this sphere that's mostly dudes and dude presenting, masculine presenting people. And so I end up having the one opinion that I think isn't often represented in this sphere because men are so politically focused. I mean, they are really the bearers of war. They create all of this conflict. And I don't blame them. The patriarchy is deeply ingrained in their sense of gender. So I come with this perspective of, has this ever helped us, really? And so that's really my perspective on Kyle. Because I did, James, right, James? I think I just saw, because I was clicking on your channels to see what was up. And so I did just see that you reviewed one of my videos, but I didn't get a chance to really watch it. So I don't know what you came away with about Kyle Kalinske. But I guess we could start there. So do you...
So my reaction is that when I was watching like your segment about it, I thought you had kind of two takes on two different aspects of Kyle. One is kind of his like edgy shit posting on Twitter, but then one is his kind of prescription for the Democratic Party as a whole. And so I thought that we could kind of like dig into kind of the differences there because I know that he was like talking about, you were reacting to one of his interviews where he was saying that the Democrats are like gerrymandering, right? The Democrats are gerrymandering in response to what the Republicans are gerrymandering in. And I thought that you kind of ascribed his like shit posting nature on Twitter to more Democratic resistance as a party tactic, like as a political tactic. And I think those are kind of two different distinct things. But I think that that's why I wanted to get into this conversation of dark woke, because I feel like those get conflated a lot. Like, I can see Kyle calling someone like the R word on Twitter as being conflated as saying like Democrats need to have better rhetoric to resist Trump. And it's like those two things have a lot of crossover when people just describe like resisting Republicans. But I think they're a distinct I think they're like two different distinct things. One is the way that a content creator personally curates themselves to their audience. And I know for a fact Kyle is in kind of that like millennial edgy type of vein of content creator where he tries to appeal to more like I wouldn't even say he tries to appeal to, but he does appeal to a lot of more like politically homeless people, but that grew up calling people like gay and R-worded and stuff like that. And I know that's like a personal appeal, but then I also think that there's a difference between him being like, we can't do the whole when they go low, we go high thing, when we're seeing that we're seeing that idea is not working right now. And the perfect example is like the gerrymandering battle that's going on in all of these different red states and blue states. I think the idea of like when they go low, we go high can be applied both to being edgy online, but also using political tools to try to achieve your political goals. It can be applied to, not saying like bigoted or what could be perceived as bigoted things online, but it also could be applied to like gerrymandering. Like Democrats are technically breaking mores by doing gerrymandering right now, but they're doing it to counteract Republican gerrymandering. So I don't know. Does that make sense? I feel like I said a lot, but I don't know if I was getting my point across there.
Yeah, I think the dilemma is, so now my brain is like, okay, now we're having a political conversation that isn't my field of expertise, and I'm
Mhm.
jumping into a conversation about politics, which isn't what my content's about. So now I'm like, okay, how do I bring this back to philosophy? I don't know how it moves the Democrats forward for Kyle Klinsky to spend time calling women bitch on the internet, but he does it. And
Right.
so the question is like, I'm not a Democrat. I mean, I am literally a registered Democrat. But okay, I'm not a Democrat, and I'm not a liberal. I consider myself leftist. I'm an anti-capitalist.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like, I'm not really interested in like Michelle Obama. I love her, but like also, love her as a woman, but not, what I mean, as a political person. So, they go high, we go high, low, or they go low, we go high. I think these are all like not the point. I think these are superficial. Um, I think it's superficial to think that we can go high when fascists are killing people. So I think we should act with dignity no matter what's happening. And there's a dignified way to fight back. Liberation is a dignified effort. And so the question is how do we seek liberation while not becoming as philosophically evil as the people oppressing us?
Mm.
I think that's more or
Mhm.
less how I see it. Does that help? I'm trying to bring it back to my area
Yeah.
because I don't want to speak out of turn, but
No, I think
No,
that
no.
makes sense. And one thing that you said one thing that you said that I saw yesterday, that I thought was really interesting, and I was hoping you could expand more upon, is the idea of like how people get their minds changed. Because I thought you
Sure.
had a lot to say there, and specifically like you were reacting to a commenter, and they were saying like, "Oh, Hassan changed my mind," and you're like, "Okay, but like there are a number of different factors." And I think that's also something because Kyle does present himself as, I don't know, different. I'll just say different than like what you would imagine the stereotypical kind of woke scold, like blue haired liberal would be. And I think that because he presents himself in that way, he does offer an on ramp to a lot of people that have been kind of inoculated or they've been like preloaded to despise stereotypical liberals.
Mm.
He
So maybe
offers
he's
them
like
an
a
on ramp
bridge.
into like leftist commentary. So how do you see someone like Kyle as a role in kind of the whole ecosystem of getting people to get their minds changed? Or like what is your opinion on how people get their minds changed about just like political and also just like life viewpoints in general?
If I think about it kind of by looking at the past when all of those people voted for Obama, which I'm sure some of us were a part of that. Some of them
Twice.
ended up, there you go. Some of them voted for Trump eventually. So I'm not interested in temporarily changing someone's mind to win one election. I want to change someone's mind to change the future of the world. If that's what we're pursuing is longevity and in a real embodiment of values. And so philosophy for me allows people to really look in a mirror and say, what do I really believe? Because if I'm going to be racist or homophobic or ableist when my rent gets too high, because that's really what's happening, right? Trump is
Mm,
purposely, in my opinion, making people's lives so miserable that they are becoming more bigoted, which is a good marketing tactic to trigger people into bigotry and getting mad and resentful at other people for existing, especially people with minority statuses. So my brain goes, well, what good is your pretend inclusion if when rent gets high, you come for me?
right.
So I think that's the problem. So Kyle Klinsky might win a few temporary changed minds into voting Democrat one election, and that's good. Or maybe he's the straw that broke the camel's back to really bring someone to full embodiment of like leftist values. Or
Mm,
I think we should take away from the ego. I think like I don't change my viewers' minds. I don't change their life. They change their own life by using the tools that they hear from me or the wisdom that they might hear on occasion when I'm actually wise once in a while, you know. But I'm not changing their life. They're changing their life. You know, Kyle isn't changing their mind. They're changing their mind. Kyle was just the right person at the right time to say it in the right way, but he is just 1 second of their life. And all of those moments before really contributed to them changing their mind eventually, right?
Yeah.
So I would prefer a world that was truly embodied in their belief rather than somebody who temporarily decided they were not racist, but they also weren't anti-racist, you know, and that feels like I would rather move the world in a direction who's anti-racist rather than just not racist. You know, that's kind of the goal. But I understand politically we need voters. I understand politically it's about winning. I understand politically there's a strategy there. Look, I was in politics when I was younger. I had a lot of opportunities. I was told directly by talk radio hosts in the Republican Party that I would have to grift my way through this job if I wanted to stay here. And I walked away. I said, look, with peace and love, I'm not doing this. Okay. And then I worked in other programs. I tried to do protests and clean up streets with people. And that was really rewarding in so many ways with BLM and abortion, Planned Parenthood, stuff like that. And then once again, I was given somewhat opportunities to step my foot in the door. And I just found that I don't think I am the greatest person at doing what Kyle Klinsky does because I can't bring myself to engage in these tactics. It feels deeply unethical to me. And so I can't. So that's why I stay in my lane because at least I can go to work every day and say I live by my values. I understand I've changed, right? I've definitely said my fair share of words on the internet that I don't say anymore. And also, like I can't even think of a time I have tweeted a slur at a person, you know what I mean, in any capacity, let alone like Kyle Klinsky doing it recently at, you know what I mean? It feels like men in this space feel justified in engaging in some form of violence that I think is inspired by the patriarchy. So it's not like they're bred into it. I get it. It's brainwashing, but I think sometimes men rely too much on violence as a cope of liberation rather than usually femmes and females and women in the spaces. And we're involving all genders. We tend to feed people and clothe people and house people. And men are busy fighting on Twitter. And it's just like, I don't know. It just feels like not productive to me, but you know, maybe it is, you know?
I'll give you like an example of recently, like one time I did kind of engage with dark woke content. And that's when I was kind of reckoning with myself on the stream was when there was that one night when the Clavicular and Andrew Tate and Nick Fuentes all went out to the club and they played the Heil Hitler song and they're all in the limo and then they're in the club, etc. There was a lot of tweets being like, that's like unironically like the gayest thing ever. Or there's a lot of people just calling them gay just all over the timeline, essentially. And I kind of like laughed at a lot of those tweets because in my mind I'm like, in that scenario maybe it works because their whole thing is being so anti-gay and being so macho and so like alpha that perhaps calling them gay is like the worst thing you could do to them. But then I was like, but at the end of the day, even though in my mind or whoever tweeted that thing out, their intention was pure, is the gay person still the butt of the joke? So does that, if that joke can hurt a gay person, is it still worth whatever laugh I got? So I was like, ultimately, I can see it from the perspective of this is still ultimately using gay people as the butt of the joke. So I would rather not engage with those jokes. So that was the example that I kind of, because I noticed there was just like Twitter was full of that. And as for Kyle, I think I used to watch Kyle like a long time ago, ever since he had like the brown spiky hair. Like I've seen him go through like all of his phases and stuff. So I do also recognize how I still like Kyle just because I've known him for so long, and I know that whenever he does tweet something controversial, I think it's mainly to get like a rise out of people. And in his mind, I wonder if it's nice to have like an attack dog from time to time. Like should the left have one or two unhinged characters on our side that are kind of willing to go, but again, if it gets racist, if it gets homophobic, then there's a line that I'm willing to draw. But like I'm willing to have someone be a little bit more aggressive, maybe insult a few people on Twitter, be kind of a dick, but with a limit. Don't be racist, don't be homophobic, etc. Like someone in my chat once was pointing out that he shared like a pretty racist meme, Indian meme or something. So like there's a couple of questionable things that he's put out there. So I would say
Well,
as
I
long
think
as
there
you,
is a way. I mean, I think there is a way. I try to practice it every day on my own stream. I make jokes all the time. Like the hope is I will get better at it and it won't come at the expense of marginalized people or vulnerable communities, because that's kind of what they love that about Trump. Trump made fun of disabled journalists and people ate it up. They love it. So the dilemma is like, I think we can be funny. I think we can even be like, sometimes I make a joke in chats like Brittany. I'm like, too far. And like, I'll catch myself live stream. I get it. I'm not looking for perfection. And I think the dilemma is that like, people wise, I get along with everyone, which is a problem because I never know the boundary when we're working together, because we are working together. Like this is our work. And so the dilemma I always find is like, I used to watch a lot of Kyle Klinsky way back in the day. Pac-Man, better than the people who don't. And then I fell off because I was just like, look, I don't know what's going on anymore, but I'm out. And what I'm looking for when I watch creators is, the problem is like, I watch a lot of people in my own time for work when I'm gathering my thoughts, but as a viewer, I don't find myself learning as much or being stimulated or even entertained as much. And so it's hard for me to then, especially with my reputation, I've learned to be careful about who I casually say is good enough because of the way things turned out for me personally in this space. And now my reputation is like in that association forever. And I'm like, man, 1 year of my life, and now it's going to bother me my whole career. So Kyle Klinsky, Hassan, any of these men, and it is usually men in this space who make a lot more money than any of the women, who do a lot better than any of the Black or brown women, who do a lot better than any of the gay or trans people, right? They tend to be the number one voices, which is technically fine, but then they reap the benefits of putting us or throwing us under the bus at the sort of for the hope of the Democrat Party or the hope of the left. But it just feels like, I don't know, it just feels like more of the same to me personally, and I don't see the point of this. But I agree that we could have one or two people who were maybe wise enough in how they attacked that it could be entertaining and good, you know?
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean I don't like these men. I'm not saying don't watch Kyle. I'm not saying don't watch
no,
Hassan.
no, no,
Watch
of
them.
course, of course.
Watch them. You know, I'm just saying like the reason I have to give this critique is because of I have a 70% women audience. Right? Like I am not in the space like these other people. Most people have male audiences. I do not. Most of the people in my audience are queer or adjacent. Like I am not. I know I'm here, but I'm not here. You know what I mean?
But that's the reason we wanted you on, because you do have a female audience. And what I love about your community as well is you guys are like super understanding and forgiving. Like while I was eating shit on one side of the internet, you guys were kind of understood what I was going through, and you guys are like very understanding, and like you're not very quick to judge. So I also like the fact that we can have this conversation, and your audience is super chill. Our audience is super chill.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
No, it's all good.
Can I get the James and Casey, could you kind of explain to me just like really briefly, like what do you think you do on the internet? So I have an idea. So as we have this conversation.
I wouldn't even know how to answer that question. What am I even doing on the internet right now?
Okay, Casey, you wanna start it off?
Sure. I mean, I started, so my channel's North Star Radio. It's like my niche over the years has kind of been like going after Ethan Klein. That's like my favorite thing to do. But you know, it's just sort of I wouldn't, no offense to the three of you, but I don't know if I would call myself a leftist. I try to focus more so on imperialism, being an anti-imperialist, and focusing on geopolitics and whatnot.
Okay, cool. Love that.
Yeah, and then my thing is basically, once again, kind of got online reacting to Ethan Klein, but essentially it's just like I'd be reacting to all of these political things and just annoying the people in my life, like talking to my girlfriend, talking to my parents about it. So I'm like, maybe I should just start a YouTube channel, give them a break, and then just start ranting online. But
okay.
Okay. Yeah. And then, really like covering the election and stuff in 2024. And I had a question for you too. Can you explain to me your decentering men versus what was it? Decentering men versus anti-male? Because I watched that video and I felt like I was missing a ton of context for it.
Let me tell you, people sometimes will. I had a comment the other day, just was like, what's the difference from misandrist and feminist? I was like, do you have 17 hours straight just to hear me give you definitions? Like, why? I think this is hard because this is my special interest and it's what I read. It's constantly what I'm consuming. So it's hard to know where people are starting from.
Okay.
But I always say decentering men in my mind is decentering patriarchy, not the gender man. And so I very much encourage people to do this, but every bubble has its own variation, because I know some people in the 4B movement, which came out of South Korea, feel like their 4B movement is about anti-men, but everyone's different. So I don't even speak for I can't even tell you all 4B believes that, or all this feminist philosophy framework believes this. But for Brittany, when I say decenter men, I'm saying decenter patriarchy and gender. Like, I'm married, we have a genderless marriage. So in no way does gender play a role in this marriage. We don't think about it when we think about anything, money or chores or, who's responsible for what. And it helps. It also helps that we don't worry too much about being on the binary. Like, it's not very important to us. But I think that is hard in a world that is so scripted by gender. I mean, people don't even know what clothes to wear if they don't know their gender, right? Like, if we start segregating kids very young. So, growing up very conservative, my parents are from Iraq. I have a Syrian family. We're very conservative. Being this person in that family means that I am the, immigrant daughter stereotype, where I'm just like, I'm going to make a mess. I'm going to start calling everybody out. But that means also I'm doing it because I see a point of liberation for my own siblings or my own family. And so that's kind of how I think about it, is decentering patriarchy is the focus here. And then I understand why people get into man-hating phases, but I think it's as a reaction to pain rather than Myron from Fresh and Fit. Going back to what you guys said about calling men gay, like, people will call Myron Gaines gay. He's not gay. He's a misogynist. So what we're now doing is we're downplaying. We're saying as an insult, oh, he's a homosexual. He hates women. Nope. That's just a misogynist. And that's the irony, is like, gay men can also be misogynists, but Myron is probably not gay. He's probably just hates women. And so I think sometimes we forget in our hope to sort of get one on the bad guy. Like, this college girl, I didn't mean to call her a little girl. I'm just old. But this young woman goes up to Myron and calls him an F slur. And I was like, no, focus.
Oh my God.
Like, to focus. And that's the problem, is it sounds good, right? Let me throw a couple slurs around here, left and right. Let me get one on them. But what does that end up doing, right? Did you guys hear about it ended up being a black man, but they thought it was a white man calling an ICE agent the N-word? Did you guys hear this story?
I didn't hear that story.
I'm on the other side of the internet.
It ended up being a black man calling an ICE agent?
Apparently ended up being a black man, but they thought he was white, and he called the ICE agent who was black a house N-word. Okay? Oh. Obviously inappropriate. But then the internet was divided. And then even some black liberals were saying, oh, this is allowed though. And I'm like, pause. And then I was like, this isn't my area. This isn't my area. But I featured black leftist voices, and black leftist voices were like, no. And I was like, they said, no. That sounds crazy to start giving white people the pass when it's an ICE agent. Same way I feel with men, because even in my own community, usually I don't censor certain words, but I noticed that certain men say the B word with a passion that I'm like, hold up, maybe I got to revoke your B card word, your B card, because it's how you say it. And it matters. It matters in a world where Trump is, legally found liable, in a world where these men are on these lists, in a world where no one's been arrested for Epstein, in a world where we are just discounting the harm done to vulnerable communities. It is important for people to feel a little bit concerned when the men who say they're on our side willingly engage in casual misogyny to, quote, own the right.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. And I don't know about you, but if any type of engagement with right-wing Twitter or any kind of conservatives, I really feel like since Trump got elected, the amount of misogyny and just pure hatred towards women has been really off the charts. It's been multiplied tenfold. I don't know if that's something that you've experienced and what your opinion on that is. I think that it's just so ingrained in conservative culture that it's really easy to always bring talking points back to being misogynist. Even Pete Hegseth's private, personal pastor, wants women to not vote. It's all the way up to the top of this administration. And I don't as a woman online, have you experienced an increase in misogyny and kind of just hatred in your experience online?
Um, well, I will say at this point, I'm a seasoned YouTuber, so I kind of
True.
understand how to keep certain people away from my channel. I think I do pretty well at like diverting angry men on the internet away from my channels, unless I really want to get paid because they really bring in the views. But I think what I've done is I've heavily also censored a lot of my channels from these people. I do get a lot of like really disgusting comments and death threats, and I just censor those ones and I report a lot. Like I got one the other day that said, so what I'm getting from this is like, I should go essay someone. Thanks, Britt. And I'm like Brittany inspired me to go essay someone. Like these kinds of, oh, I'm going to get her at her own game because she's calling me out, for calling cheating predatory. It's like, oh, I'm going to, so I think what happens is that men come, they're angry, they're upset. I have a secondary channel too that gets more views. And that channel in particular, where I do like edited content, that comment section, that area where I don't censor my comments, oh, ruthless, really anti-Black, really homophobic, really transphobic, really angry men on the internet. And
That's
I don't
crazy.
like, yeah, I don't like it in my stream channel because I really do live here and I read all the comments and it like emotionally gets to me. So I keep that channel uncensored and I don't really look at it because YouTube will punish you for censoring your comments
Oh, I
because it
had
looks
no
like
idea.
it looks like no one's interacting with your content.
That makes
So,
sense.
and since the haters make videos go do better in the algorithm, so I kind of take the hit on my stream channel in a hopes that like that secondary channel will kind of help. But like I kind of take the hit on my stream channel, so I just block all of them to be honest. But I'm not sure that it's any more than I got anytime I entered any male spaces, to be honest. But I will say that I think it would be more if I didn't censor better. I think it would be unbearable. And I'll tell you this, because of my run-in with other liberal Democrat men on the internet, I know that liberal men just aren't safe because they haven't done enough deconstruction of the patriarchy. And I know because I was harassed for multiple years after interacting with a part of the internet. And that tells me, okay, there's something very low trust about this space. If you guys grew up high trust, that means like I trust people to be themselves. When Anthony says his name is Anthony, I believe him. When Anthony tells me a story, I just believe it. Right? I was in a part of the internet where when I would just say a story, people just like, no. And I'm like, no. And they just wouldn't believe me. And I didn't grow up in that space. I grew up in a very trusting neighborhood with very trusting neighbors. I grew up with a really trusting family. And I think you have to be very careful about the spaces you interact with when you're like a femme especially, but just when you're kind of the person who assumes everyone's kind of telling the truth. You know what I mean? Because I do tell the truth. So I kind of assume we're all at our jobs telling the truth. And then when I meet grifters and stuff, I'm like, uh-oh. And that's the concern I have with even good people engaging in like what I think is like negative behavior. The behavior I associate with bad people. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
And by the way, can I just say something? Because I think you, James, I did see a clip where you said something like, I thought this was going to be about Kyle, but it's all about Brittany. I'm autistic, and the way autistic people generally try to get people to understand them is to talk about themselves so they know it's like a real experience. So if you notice, oh, she's talking about herself a lot, it's autism. So you're welcome.
No, I'm not going to lie. I was like, very confused first jumping into
Yeah.
your stream, and I'm like, okay, we're on the Kyle segment, and then like a minute later we're talking about something else. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
this is gonna take some more focus than I was expecting it to take.
Yeah. Very neurodivergent streamer that I am. Yeah.
I think we're all suffering from a lack of attention span a little bit, just being chronically online.
True.
But one thing we were kind of curious about, because another thing that you mentioned is, I think you like briefly were touching on kind of Hassan's split with ContraPoints and Destiny. So I was kind of curious about, because you're talking about your interaction with liberal streamers and their space there. My mind immediately jumped to like Destiny's community, but I don't know if that's true or not. And I was just wondering if you could like speak more about that.
Just in
if you're
general,
comfortable,
like,
if you're comfortable, you
just some
don't
thoughts?
have to.
Well, a direct question probably works better for my brain, but I will say this: I just finished watching for my stream in preparation this week Contra's 3-hour conversation that she just posted. I forgot who the host was. Chat probably knows, but this conversation, first of all, I don't even know why she doesn't like Hassan. They're very similar. And like, I don't know why she won't work with him. But like, and this is the irony. I've worked with Contra, I've worked with Destiny. I have never worked with Hassan. And I have gotten around where I've worked with enough people in this space to know that I think ultimately, and I mean this so respectfully, we are all mentally ill. We all need therapy, and we're all very honestly passionate about what we do. Like, I think Hassan is passionate. I think Destiny is passionate. I think Contra is passionate. I think I'm passionate. The dilemma here is who's doing the work to really understand why they're so passionate. So here's Contra talking about how the radicals aren't radical enough. And I'm like, to do something, Natalie, do something. And then Natalie's not doing anything, right? Then I look at Hassan and I'm like, you're the biggest microphone. Say something. And then he's doing this thing over here. We're all looking at each other like, do something. And then Destiny, well, I don't know what happened there. Like, that was, I don't think anyone could have quite, I don't know what happened there. But like, obviously this this like pro-Zionist, anti-Palestine grift he's on, I don't even know what's happening there. But I will say that obviously discounting him, because I don't think we should even engage with him, right? On the predator scale, on the Zionist, like no one should even be talking to him. There is, if you're going to be working with the Democrats, which Hassan does really well, I don't know why him and Natalie aren't getting along. Versus I will not work with the Democrats, which is why I'm not in politics. Because I won't do it. And that's
what's the reason why you won't work with Democrats?
Well, I chose politics not to be my job for a reason, because every time I was in those spaces, they needed me to do things that were against my ethics.
Okay.
My morals. Like, I need to sleep at night, and I would rather volunteer in my community. I would rather feed people. I'd rather fund people. I'd rather come on fundraiser streams. I'd rather babysit neighbors' kids. Like, I would rather do anything but work side by side in a situation where like I have to not sleep at night because I engaged in a political game I didn't even want to do, right? So like, I just can't do it. But I can see why like Hassan can, or Natalie can, or they can. Like, I get it. I can't do it. And I think that's okay. I think everyone plays a different role. But I like I said, I voted for Kamala Harris. I will vote Democrat. I will do those things. Gavin Newsom's a whole other conversation. Don't even get me started. But I would love a leftist kind of candidate. I would like a real leftist candidate. I would love somebody who's unapologetically pro-trans, unapologetically pro-black, unapologetically pro every like marginalized community. Like, I would like somebody who's so pro, like unapologetically pro-Palestine. Like, not somebody who like wishy-washy. Oh, I'm anti-genocide. Just say I'm pro-Palestinian. Just say I'm pro. Just say I'm. I would love that candidate, and I would vote for that candidate. And that's what I'm hoping for.
That's been my biggest issue with the Democrats. Like, that's why I feel like I can't endorse a single Democrat, especially as like someone living in the Middle East right now. Like, their policies, and I know, I get that Trump is worse. And like, for the first time, seeing what was happening in the region over the last couple of months, I was like, should I have voted for Kamala? Like, would it have been that bad? Like, I did get that regret, because at one point I'm like, you were the vice president during the genocide. I'm never going to vote for you. I'm never going to support a single Democrat that is not super anti-Israel. Wants to cut funding to Israel, because at this point this is literally affecting our everyday life right here. So that's why, like, that's a personal reason why, even though I'll agree with Democrats more than I would with Republicans, I don't think I can ethically support them, even if it's just for one issue. Even and I know that's for the I know that's not a good thing necessarily, because I know I'm being a single issue voter in this case, and Democrats could be better for America for 100 other reasons, whether the economy, rent, etc. I still can't get myself to vote for anyone who condones like a genocide, or like who just stood by and let it happen. So that's kind of why I can't fuck with them at the moment.
I'll say this, because I think this was the hardest point, because obviously during the election I have a population. I love my audience. Like, they really are just like a perfect combination of the most like diverse corners of the world coming together with one unified hope for the world, and that we do less bad every day. And so a lot of the Arab community that I followed asked me, like, Brittany, like, I can't vote for her. What do I do? And I said, don't. I said, better for you to sleep at night fighting for your people than to vote for a woman who's like basically contributing to this genocide. And that was a contention. Like, people were pretty upset with me for saying that, but I would rather everyone sleep at night than otherwise. And I understand that politics is about winning. But I really think politics is where good people go to die, because I think, like, if you were a good person, if you were really a philosophically good person, you could not do these things to people.
Yeah.
And I think that is the dilemma with our political systems as they are, is like they're ruthlessly philosophically evil. And this cannot be the solution for humanity to move forward.
And you can't put pressure on, and I like for example, there's a bunch of Arabs that voted for Trump, like Dearborn
Yeah.
swung to like towards Trump. And I'm like, you know what? Like that's a stupid decision. But I'm like, I
Yeah.
can't. Ultimately, that's one demographic that I just can't blame because they're witnessing something pretty traumatic happening to their people at the hands of their president. So it was a protest vote, and it's just making things worse. But I do kind of get that in a
Well,
way.
I'll tell you, because I'm a philosophy channel, I'll even go a step further. I don't think we should blame anyone for anything. Because
Yeah,
I think we're
that's
evolved animals on a planet, and I think we're all a product of our environment and our biological experience. And my hope is we have a deeper relationship with that biological experience to be less bad every day. Like I do struggle even with my own family, who a lot of them are MAGA. Like, you know, the meme of like old immigrants making faces at new immigrants. Like that's some
Mm.
of my family members. So I was like, you're immigrants. And then just like, but this is the cycle and this is the problem. And so much of it is just a burden for a lot of us to carry. And I think as especially femme people in the family, if you know, chat, we have to carry the burdens of our fathers who won't go to therapy and our brothers who won't read any books and our mothers who uphold the patriarchy. And so there's a lot of compassion to be had, which means to suffer with, right? Compassion is to suffer with. And so I always tell people, if you're a leftist, first learn to be compassionate towards MAGA and then hold them accountable. It will make you a better person.
Kind of going off of that, from a philosophy perspective, how do you interact and try to counteract bigotry, both in your personal life and as an online figure? Because that's something that we kind of brushed on earlier, and I'm just really curious to hear your perspective when you're coming at it from the perspective of, like, obviously everyone's in charge of their own actions and their own emotions and feelings on things, but how do you bring someone out of such a hatred, like such a hate-filled point in their lives?
Yeah, well, that's really difficult. I think that's going to be my sort of a life's work, if you will. But and I use my family because it's tangible to me as a living experience. I always say you can't make peace with the family; you want to make peace with the earth. Like we're really interesting. Um, as people, we have this really beautiful version of the world that exists in our head, like no traffic and fair taxes, and everyone's fed until it comes down to your neighbors, and then all of a sudden you're going to make a list of reasons your neighbors shouldn't be fed and they shouldn't be housed, and actually I hate them, and honestly they're loud at night, and really their dog will not stop barking, so honestly evict them. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, so what I want is I want us to be grounded in do the right thing even if nobody else is doing it. Like do the right thing, but I also believe, and this is the hard part and I understand it, I don't think morals are objective. I think they're a subjective experience filtered through this thing we call a brain. And so when we're existing in the world, we have to process that this thing that we all have, it doesn't operate the same for everybody. And so it's all of our duty to know how our own brain works, to figure out how to understand our place in the universe, to understand our bodies, to understand our different, like as an autistic person who was late diagnosed, this framework, this filter that's in my head, it means that I just experience the world so differently, which is probably why I'm in philosophy, which is also probably why I rub people the wrong way with my work also, because they're attached to a script they've been given, and I'm saying, what if we constructed a new one? Like, what if we did a new script that coincides with the original one, and it slowly erodes at it like a generational curse? You want to chip away sort of at that generational trauma, so eventually the outcome is something better. So bigotry, right? It's bigotry and prejudice are in all of us to some extent on some spectrum and in some way. So they're cultural. So now you have to question your culture. They're biological. Why do I have this feeling when I see this person? My dad used to say to me, Betsy, when you see a gay person, don't you just feel this like disgust in your stomach? I was like, no, you're having a biological reaction that a therapist can help you with, and that will help you figure out your bigotry. And he has 3 gay kids. I'm one of them. So keep that in mind, right? Okay. So when we think about the world, we understand ourselves as mind, body, and then maybe consciousness, this thing that you think is thinking, right? So your brain, when maybe you smoke or you drink something, you're like having an altered state of mind, but now you're having it sober with the thoughts you've um, embodied, or the thoughts that you've started to believe about yourself. Think conspiracy theorists. Like, how does a normal person who has a normal job become a conspiracy theorist? They start to believe, then they embody, and then they don't counteract. They don't question. And I don't mean question like a conspiracy theorist. I mean a data-driven questioning. So, can I see a study on that? Can I understand how that came to be? Can I question this thing that we've seen? But where's the data, right? So I think for me, it's constantly asking yourself why and constantly questioning things. Like, take it back to the beginning. I asked you both why or what you do on the internet. And I wanted to follow it up with the why question, but it's interesting. James, I think you said you were talking to your friends and family about politics, and then you decided just to come here. And that idea is like, is that really your why, though? Is that why you're out here? Is that why your face is here, your voice is here, your reputation is here? Is this really why you get out of bed every day and come on the internet? Is it because you just don't have anyone to talk about politics with? Like, what's your real why?
Yeah, that's an interesting way of putting it. And like, obviously, I do agree with you. Like, it's easier to not come onto it's easier to not come onto the internet. And like, I think that the reason that I come onto here, it would be the same reason that I wanted to talk to my family about it too. And I'm sure you can relate to this, but I think that voices on the internet are important because it gives something, it gives people something to kind of identify with and reinforce the idea that they're not alone. As we do live in like an increasingly atomized society where people do feel like they're more and more alone, they have less friends, they look to community online. And if that's something that can be like a positive impact on people by helping create a space where they feel represented, they feel like their feelings are being validated, and also informed and kind of inoculated a little bit against right-wing waves of misinformation, bigotry, and hatred. And I feel like that's something that everyone can relate to, having the satisfaction of not just like ranting online into the void, but creating a real community of people. Like, as you say, your streaming channel is kind of your safe space online, and it's a community that brings you happiness. And I'm sure that's
Definitely.
what everyone can relate to on here.
Oh yeah, hell yeah! All the mods on the channel. Anytime there's anything remotely like mean or offensive, I don't even have time to read it, and the mods to take care of that stuff. Because I think it's, and I agree with Brittany. Like, it's important to keep your community feeling safe, because a live stream community is not like a VOD community where people can just dump a comment and go. Like, people have to. You're hanging out for like 2 to 3 to 4 hours. So if there's one person just killing the vibe in the community, you have to keep everyone. And also, forget the community. It distracts me as well. Like, if there's like people bickering in the chat, or there's like stuff going on, like, I can't focus on what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to talk, and there's people having like separate conversations in the chat. I know they're always having separate conversations, but when there's like serious like arguing, I'm like, what's going on? And I end up scrolling back to see
Definitely.
where's the post that started everything? Where's that one chat? And
I
then
feel
you
like I've
fall
become
into
a
the
mom where I'm like, who's
yeah,
doing
yeah.
what? Who's making a mess? I see something.
I know. I
What's
saw a
wrong?
clip of you doing that. You're like,
Apologize.
you two are fighting. Stop it. Cut it out.
Yeah. Soul sistered me right there. Yeah. Well, because these are real people. I think that's the other thing too, is like, I've done physical events. I've met real people in these communities. I've interacted with people. And so when you really start to grasp like, oh, I'm really impacting real people's lives, I think that sense of responsibility is coming out, right? Like, I told my stream, I'm training to be the adult in the room. Cause you think I don't want to get on stream and just make mukbangs and talk about fucking nothing and talk about my favorite anime scenes and like not question anything. I think that's the most frustrating thing about who I've been since I was a little girl, where I'm just like, I want to have fun too, but also, have you guys heard about like the war that's happening? Like, have you guys heard about homophobia? And that's what I do.
Yeah.
That's like, I made the decision 6 years ago to go full time into this industry and focus on philosophy, and it's been so rewarding. And it's the right decision, but I too also dream of just being a mukbanger,
Well,
which will
when we
never
when we
happen,
do a
but,
live episode with a mukbang, he'll be the first person we
Perfect.
You're
invite.
welcome. Yeah. No,
Perfect.
it's been the same with me. I've been buying Lego sets for the past 2 months, kind of obsessively, and I have the second channel where I'm like, I'm just gonna build these Lego sets on this second channel while my country's at war. So I'm like, I just want to sit here and build Lego
Right?
sets, but I can't. Like, first like I'm distracted. I'm kind of stressed. Like, I want to focus on what's happening, but like also it's just extremely insensitive as well. While people are getting killed and slaughtered, here I am building. So
Yeah.
it's like we want to do these things. Like, I'm still gonna. I think you could still you have time to start a third channel. You know what I mean?
Oh my
You
God.
could do
Actually,
that.
okay,
Come on.
wait. For the record, I did actually like sit down and tell my partner, I think I'm gonna start a third channel, and they just looked at me, and I was like, you know what? Hold on. Like,
Yeah, no.
I really can't, but I do dream of it. I dream of labor.
The
Four
second
channels worth.
I can't do like the second channel. Like I'd be lucky to do one Lego build a week now, but I'm gonna try it now. Now that there's a ceasefire here, a very loose ceasefire, non-existent ceasefire, but like anyways, I guess we're gonna try. But yeah, no, it's important to try to also do some fun stuff. There's something that I wanted to ask. Just go for it. Go for it.
Well, I wanted to ask James. You were a little spicy towards me. Your little video that I saw for just a second there. Do you feel less spicy now that you have to contend with me in real life? Like, do you feel like
no?
Really
I feel like I kept saying
what happened on that stream.
you were I knew you were going to be a very nice person because your videos, I could tell that you were coming at everything from a sense of good faith, and I liked your personality, so I knew I was going to get along with you. My issue, okay, I'm going to be brutally honest with you. When you said, I don't feel like Kyle's a real leftist, but then you also said, I don't watch his stuff anymore, I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this, because and I know, like, you get a, like, you've watched him in the past and you have a feeling for him, but that I'm just like, if we're going to be talking about Kyle, I don't know if we can have really a conversation about Kyle, but there were so many other things that I wanted to talk with you about, and I knew I'd have fun having a conversation with you.
Okay, give me advice, because this is where I struggle. So sometimes I'll get on stream and I'll be like, oh, I watch this content creator. They're like, ew, you're a fan of this content creator? I'm like, no, but I watch them. So I stopped saying I watch people. Because when I say I watch people, it sounds like an endorsement of that person. So I only watch Kyle maybe once a month. I watch a video just to see what he's up to. But you're right. I don't watch him. And I would only sit down and watch like 10 hours of Kyle if I thought I was going to do a stream on him. Then I would do that. But you're right. Like I struggle with like, do I watch Tucker Carlson or do I watch him to stay? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, how much of Tucker do I have to watch to know what's up with Tucker?
Yeah. I do understand that. I feel like, if you're gonna like say an offhanded comment, be like, oh yeah, I watched Tucker Carlson, that would be a little sus, unless you're gonna follow it up with like a 15-minute breakdown of why Tucker Carlson is wrong about everything. But if it's just like an offhanded comment, I definitely get that. So and like also in conversations, it's easier to explain yourself than just like you say one thing, it might sound like I do this fucking shit all the time. Like I say one thing in my and in my head, it sounds perfect, but then I'm like, wait a second, that came off exactly wrong than what I wanted it to, than what I was trying to get across.
Yeah, story of my life. So I think that's the struggle. And look, that's why I keep getting burned a little bit when I try to do group activities online, because I do feel like I am genuinely just this. Like, there is no hidden agenda. I'm not trying to be famous. I make a good living. I do this full time. Like, I'm not trying to like be famous, none of that. But I also am very passionate about what I do. So sometimes I do think people, that's what happened last time, is like people thought I was doing the same thing they were doing. So like these boys would call me, be like, get on stream, we're going to fight. And I'm like, well, I'm hanging out with my family. Like, I'm not going to fight with you on stream. But that's the problem with, I think I'm very passionate. And I know on my own stream, I also think when I'm talking to my own viewers, I can come off a little bit more like harsh, because I'm being like, I want to reassure them that I'm here for them and our values and our, what we have overlap with, if it is. And then I sometimes, when I talk to those people, I'm like very nice. And so they're like, oh, she's two-faced. I was like, no, girl, it's just like, I'm in front of you now, what am I supposed to do here? So I understood when I was watching you, I was like, oh, he's a little sassy with his audience. Okay. Like, that's fine, and that's cute. Like, I'm here for it. But I want to humanize us in this process and just like communicate that out loud and break the fourth wall a little bit. Like, this is our job. We are doing this, and we're people. And we don't say things perfectly, but I really am trying to be good faith,
I did also have a question, and since we were talking a little bit about guilty pleasures, my guilty pleasure is watching UFC, and as someone who's coming from a majority female community online and a philosophy breakdown, what's your opinion on that shit? Because I think it's fucking hilarious. You just watch like Republicans giving each other brain damage. It's like my favorite thing. But have you ever had any kind of interaction with that?
With guilty pleasures, or
no, with
UFC?
With UFC, or like what's your thought on what's your thought on 20-something men that watch UFC? Because I mean, I'm a walking stereotype right now.
I'm not in that boy bubble. Is UFC fighting?
Yeah,
it's
it's
a
fighting.
mixed
Yeah,
martial
it's a mixed
arts.
martial. Okay, I think it's gross, and I think it's disgusting, and I think it's bad, and I don't like watching people get their shit rocked unless it's like one of those unless it's a really good moment on a video or something. But like generally, I think it's too violent. But also, I'm the kind of girly that grew up like jumping out of airplanes and skateboarding and breaking, like just trying to like basically risk her life for adrenaline. So a part of me likes adrenaline seeking behavior, but for some reason, I never got into fighting. Never liked boxing. I never liked UFC. I don't like anything that makes me feel like, did he just break his bone? Did he just break his, like, is he twisting his leg? Even though that happens in skateboarding, it's different. It's different. I also don't like football. And I
No,
Skateboarding's
it
don't
more
is
like
dangerous. Skateboarding's more dangerous
No, no,
than
it's
fighting.
no, it's not, because in fighting, like skateboarding, yeah, it looks more dangerous when you break a bone, but in fighting, every time someone gets hit in the head, even if it's a light jab, that is leading to long-term brain damage. That's what's deceiving about it. Even when they wear the headgear, like sometimes in boxing, because I train in boxing, but I don't spar. I very rarely spar or get into actual fights. I hit the bag, I do pad work with a coach, etc. I don't want to be hit in the head. Because just prolonged, even with headgear, your head is still getting rocked, your brain is still shaking inside within your skull. So that will all lead to brain damage long term and in the future. So that's kind of where and to me, look, you can't stop people from competing. Any professional in any
Sure.
sport, whoever trains in any discipline is going to want to compete and fight. So people who train in fighting are going to want to fight. They're going to find a way to like fight. Where I find it's exploitative is that the majority of the time, people who end up being professional fighters are people that are struggling financially, and fighting is their only way out. So when does it become you're watching people competing for sport, or you're just watching poor people trying to get out of poverty by just beating the shit out of each other? Like that's where it becomes. Now, when I'm watching, I would rather watch rich people fight. Like I feel less guilty about that when they're already rich, they've already made it, and now they're just like trying to get richer. Uh, but when they're like up and coming, there's something when you really think about it that is like kind of disturbing of like they're just like they're doing this because they have to. A lot of the time, like they don't want to be fighting. It's just the only path. It's either fight or end up in jail somehow. For a lot of
If I'm
those
not
people,
mistaken, isn't that why? Not to bring them up, but isn't that why the Tate brothers went in? Isn't that why Andrew Tate went into the sport? Wasn't there a financial struggle, and then he was like, "It's a way out of poverty," and then he went into camming and stuff like that. But I thought that's why he started becoming a kickboxer. I could be wrong, but I
that's
thought that was his
usually
lore.
it's usually like a big part of it. Like a lot of the time, you'll
Probably.
have professional boxers whose kids also want to fight, and their parents are like, "But why? Like I had to fight. You don't have to fight. Like you're born rich." At that point, they just want to emulate their parents and like get the
Mm-mm-mm.
success. But like,
And it
uh,
probably makes you feel good, right? It probably makes you feel really tough and really strong. And that's why men's boot camps are always about fighting and hitting something. Which, by the way, like, look, I watch anime too, guys. Okay. I also like to pretend I can fight. So I'm not like shaming people for wanting to engage in physicality. I just like, I don't prefer to watch people get like, yeah, their shit rocked in in a way that makes me wince. Like, I try not to wince when I watch things I like.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my great opinion on that. Sorry. I feel like there could have been a better opinion, but that's it.
nuts.
Uh,
I like no, it's fun because I'm very sensitive to like cuts. When I see someone like cut open or
Mm.
gashes, I legit get like queasy or like I start getting like dizzy and stuff. I don't like watching. So when someone gets like a cut and in the UFC they make it a point to like they go for the
Yeah.
injury to try to get you out.
Ugh.
So
See?
and yeah, the sound that it makes, the splattering that it makes. I'll still watch it from time to time, but it's nasty. Like it's hard for me to sit through that stuff.
Casey, we
But
gotta
yeah.
we gotta go to like a amateur fight in person or something. Live stream it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I want to.
You
I'll
need
go. Fuck,
somebody
I
you
still
want.
want to go, but
Yeah.
I might barf at some point. I wanted to ask a quick. Well, I want to talk about clavicular as well. How about because I
Oh,
saw your video on clavicular. Why is someone like clavicular popping off? Like I discovered him like 2 months ago, just with clips and endless clips online. But like the recent overdose, um,
mm.
just also like how's this affecting people and like maybe 2% of what the guy says makes sense. Like, yeah, if someone wants to look better, you'll feel better. Working out is nice. Yeah, looking after yourself, that's all nice. But like taking it to that extreme, why do you think? What is contributing to the rise of someone like clavicular at a time like this? What is so unique about 2026, 2025 that someone like that is gaining so much attention? And are all of these mainstream platforms that are like platforming him. Like, didn't he have like a GQ cover or something like a month ago, or like
He's had way
something
too
insane?
60-minute interview, a lot of things.
Yeah,
Did you
yeah.
watch my commentary video on him by any chance, or my stream commentary? Do you remember if it was the stream or if it was probably the stream channel?
I
I bet
think
you
it was
saw
the
it.
stream. Yeah.
Okay, I made a commentary video. So like I make edited 30 to 40 minute long form videos like every 2 weeks. On that channel, I said, I am terrified this man is about to overdose, and 3 hours later he overdosed.
Oh, no way.
That's crazy.
And my comment section was like, holy fuck. And I was like, Jesus. And I came from that video. I was very compassionate, very older sister, very like, hey, no,
The
for real,
Quavo's
though,
channel?
the boys are suffering. Like, I know I like to make fun of boys and everything, but like, they're for real suffering, guys. This is no joke. This kid is about to overdose in front of us on stream, and I'm terrified. And then boom. And like, that's the thing is like, I've seen this happen. I have 8 brothers. Some got problems.
Wow.
And you know, I've seen the way that boys also feel a pressure to look a certain way, to be handsome, to be attractive. Like, pretty privilege is a thing. Hassan should know. You know what I mean? Like, it plays in favor. There's scientific data to show, we've done studies on this, that people think you are morally good if you're attractive and morally bad if you're ugly. So
That's
for those in the
crazy.
middle, like me in the middle, and this isn't a, oh, compliment me. This is serious. I know for a fact I'm very lucky to be in the middle, because if I was any uglier, my life would be a lot harder. And that's why clavicular, that's why he says what he does, because he knows, and it's being reinforced, that if he is more attractive, people will be nicer to him. And look what happened. The society reinforced it in him. Society proved him right. They gave him money, numbers, interviews. Everybody wants to talk to him. And that's the problem. He said a thing and you said, oh yeah, that's true. And so that's the problem in the world. And like, not to get into the ableism of it, but there's even content to show, and so many people have made amazing videos on this, that people who have, you know, they're amputees, they have unique scars or birthmarks, like they are treated literally different by police, judges, parents, teachers. And so this plays a huge role. So here's clavicular seeing this, and allegedly is autistic, and I believe it honestly. And a lot of autistic people actually do take a special interest in beauty. And there's even a couple of women on TikTok who their special interest is being pretty, because they see the social advantages. Example, if you're very attractive, all of your social awkwardness, people think it's cute and endearing, right? What's the meme in Hassan's community? He really nailed that social interaction. That's like the meme, right? Same thing with clavicular. He's so socially awkward, but because he's somewhat attractive, people go, oh, whatever.
It's a
Girls
quirk.
who are, it's a quirk. You're quirky. And so that, I think, you know, is reinforced through patriarchy as well. Like, patriarchal standards do have beauty standards for all genders. And so I just think he saw it, mixed it with capitalism, and had a baby. Patriarchy and capitalism, I mean, you know what I mean? They go hand in hand. So I just think it plays a huge role. Not to mention he's white, not to mention he's thin, not to mention he's all these like typically attractive things based off of our society. So, I mean, he's right. Society rewarded him in that way, but he's wrong to think this is going to liberate his spirit, or he's wrong to think that this is good, or it's eating him alive. We're watching this man self-harm in front of us.
Yeah, it's great. No, actually, I think that one of the best things that I saw was like YouTube banned banned him permanently. Like, both of his channels have been taken down off of YouTube.
Whoa,
I think like,
really?
yeah, I think they have to, because literally he's killing himself like in front of the world.
Whoa,
like, and
I
how's
didn't
it
know
even
that.
legal? Like, how's it even legal to walk around? Like, I didn't know you could do ketamine on stream. Like, what the fuck is that?
You're not supposed. Well, Kick, I think he's on Kick, and Kick just has no rules.
But like, you could do ketamine on like, can't he get arrested for that? Like, I mean,
yeah,
like,
you can't be intoxicated in public, right? You get in trouble if
Right.
if you're disrupting everything, right? So yeah,
like, I don't
know
even
how-
understand, like, how are they streaming this stuff? Like, what is happening? It's like a bunch of 10-year-olds watching this. Like, I watched them making out with someone's mom 5 days ago on Twitter.
What?
Like, dude, I swear,
Girl.
like,
What are you watching?
Well, you guys want to hear
it's on
something
Twitter.
scary?
I don't watch clavicular streams.
Well, my
But
mom
it's-
she's a elementary school teacher, and the little 10-year-old kids are punching themselves in the face to help their
It's a bone
jawline grow.
smash.
Yeah, they're going like this all day.
Oh my, 10-year-olds.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. Like his like he's a lol cow to us because we're adults, but to the little children, he's actually like that's his target audience.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that, to be honest, it's not that far off from Anna communities, anorexic communities,
Mm.
Anna communities, or little girls growing up. I mean, gosh, until the Kardashians happened, I thought my butt was never going to help me. And then I was like, oh, thank God, like people are into big butts now, right? So, like, once, like, body beauty is subjective, it's based off of cultural expectations. And there is this standard. He's fitting a standard. He's being rewarded for fitting the standard. When I was younger, I just wanted to be thin with small boobs. I was like, please, Lord, give me small boobs. And I didn't. I got rather, as I hit puberty. And that frustrated me. It meant that everything I wore, I was, oh, even as a little girl, people were like, oh, she's the slutty one. I was a virgin until I was
Mm.
22, kids. 22, didn't
That's
have sex,
crazy.
okay? My friend who has like, no, God did not bless her with anything, could wear anything and nobody would think anything of it. And so that's the thing, the body you inhabit. This is why I say like free will is a very interesting concept from not even a determinist perspective alone, just from the idea that like you need to deconstruct the fact that you inhabit a body that like might not even make sense for how you feel about yourself. Like I definitely think you're more than this physical form that holds your consciousness. And I don't mean like in a soul God way. I just mean in a literal way that the world only sees this thing and interacts with this thing, and then they judge you and make decisions. And I'm saying, yes, this thing can force us to follow patterns of bigotry or prejudice that lead us into being sort of like predictable. So you could say, oh, he's a man and he probably has these experiences. That could be true, but not all men have these experiences, and not all people are, So I think that's the thing that Clavicular really understood. His brain at 19 really clung to, was like, okay, I am this cute. Did you see him when he was young? He was like cute chubby boy, very round face. Brown face, not cute. Not gonna get you a lot of brownie points from men or women. So he went, okay, I have a cute round face. I'm gonna get me a chiseled face. And look how quickly he was rewarded, right? And that's all you need. If you are not philosophically questioning yourself, if you're not saying, who am I other than the way people see me? Who am I outside of this perspective? Then of course you have to think, well, we live under capitalism. I'm going to have to be successful. I don't think I'm going to be successful in any other way. This is my ticket out. Same with going into sports, right? Oh, I am in this environment. My schools aren't funded. My family is struggling. How can I make money for my family? I'll be a fighter. I'll go into sports. It's like, that's why I say I don't blame Clavicular, but I wish he would liberate himself and therefore his audience out of this trap, because it is a trap.
I feel like that could be like a great redemption arc for Clavicular. Like he could actually, if he could see the like the impact that he's having, and like actually come to like a good conclusion. By the way, just want to shout out to Brat, who sent in a $50 super chat saying it's Mohsen's birthday. Happy birthday, Mohsen. Mohsen, who's in Gaza, by the way. Mohsen, ينادى عليك. Mohsen, shout out. عبال المية. I want to just ask a couple of more questions, Brittany, if that's okay. I wanted
I got
to
time.
just from Arab to Arab, being like an Iraqi Arab creator online, especially in a time where like our people are getting slaughtered, and I mean also Iraqis, which I mean since like 2003. Sort of just like, what's your experience been like being online as an Arab creator during a time like this? And do you wish to see some more Arab creators? What do you think is kind of missing from the online space from like Arab creators? And
Yeah, well, first, I do tend, my TikTok feed does tend to give me a lot of great women, a lot of great Arab women, and that's exciting, and that's what I want to see more of. I noticed that a lot of us are still, what I would love for all of us is to, because we are kind of the first generation who sort of are the new wave of our parents. And so I see a lot of us, in conflict with this line between like being what our parents want us to be and being something a little bit more leftist or liberated. And so my hope for our community as a whole is that we kind of thank our parents for what they gave us and then step it up. You know what I mean? So obviously my heart goes out to everybody, and I've contacted everyone in my family who's Lebanese, or anyone who I think has family in the region, or anybody who might need some, comfort. And I think that part is what keeps me the most grounded, is that the best thing we do for community members is to be available. So if somebody needs me, if they need me to do something, if they, I can do that, because I can't be there. I'm not there, right? When the Iraq war was happening in 2003, like it was very weird in my family because we were torn. But I will say, like, for the family that was there, even they had mixed feelings. And now in hindsight, we look back and we're like, what were we thinking? Like, why did why did America even, and I think we're going to do this every time. I think Palestine will be one of those things that we will look back and see. And when I heard about Lebanon, I think the problem with Lebanon is, like, when I hear Lebanon, it's like hearing New York. I was like to me, in my experience, Lebanon is like England or UK, or name something that people think or associate with, so it's
we
hard
used
for
to be
me.
the Paris or Switzerland of the Middle East back in the day. we're still very proud about that, but like,
There you go. But it's hard for me because I remember saying to people, I was like, Lebanon, you're saying Lebanon, like with an L, and everyone's like, Lebanon. I was like, guys, Lebanon's like, this is crazy. This is like New York.
Yeah.
And they're like, what do you mean? I was like, it's you can't just, Lebanon's like a place. Like, do you know what Lebanon's a place? Like, and that's what it is like, I think I try not to take it for granted that I even have a very humanizing idea of being West Asian, like that area of the world. And that's what I always tell people. Real people live there. Real people are everywhere. Nobody is different. And America's propaganda, the greatest piece of propaganda America ever fed, the US, ever fed their people, was that their people are not people. They're not us. And that's really, really real. I cannot push it enough. I cannot say it louder enough. Like, they think when their kids die, I remember there was people we knew in the military, not just my brothers, but my brothers knew. And they would say, when busloads of kids would come towards the base, we had to shoot it. And I was like, why? And they said, oh, the kids could have bombs. And I was like, but there's a busload of kids, right? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, and you shot a busload of kids? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, I want you to process, see how your thought is protect adults before children. See how your thought is their children don't matter. Imagine it was a busload of your children, our children, like a U.S. school of children. There's no way we would do this. There's no way the U.S. would ever do this. And that's the propaganda that I'm begging people to deconstruct if they want to change the world for the better. Like, you have got to process everyone's babies are the same. Every baby is the same everywhere. And that's the first place, look, they went to dehumanize Palestinian babies, huh? That's the first way Israel started. Is their babies. I saw this guy say, it doesn't matter if it's women or if it's children. Their babies are like, what did he say? Sinful or corrupt or something like this. And I thought that's a really good way to convince people that these babies, and they did that, by the way, with enslaved Black communities in the United States as well, that their children were either property or a threat to the. So again, it always starts with the baby. And that's why I think in 2026, my work is focused on children, because it's the first group they go after.
Okay, no, amazing. No, and I do agree with you. Like, I also feel like at this point, like, part of my job is to like just represent, like, hey, like, my people in a way. And I know that I represent Lebanon is by no means a monolith. There's so many different voices that I'd like to see come out from Lebanon. And there's tons of Arab content creators. I'm just thinking, like, in the online leftist spaces, I can't think of too many. But
There's not enough.
I'd
and that's
love
why
to
I
see...
always say I'm a Syrian, because I think people need to know that we are here. It's just, I think a lot of Assyrians, at least in my community, they really struggle to own Assyrian because there's a struggle. If you're an Assyrian TikTok or Assyrian YouTube, it's a whole battle between what we identify. Are we Arab? Are we not Arab? Are we Chaldean? Are we Assyrian? I'm like, you guys are driving me crazy. We're all from the same place.
I need to look into Assyrian TikTok. I need to like announce myself, like, yo, I'm the descendant of like the last king of Assyria.
You are Assyrian. Assyrian YouTube is crazy, bro. They're like literally arguing and who's the first? You said it today in stream. We're the first Christians. I was like, actually, Anthony,
so,
like we're all the like, yeah. This idea.
We're among the first Christians. Yeah. No, but, so Casey and James, in case you guys don't know, I'm technically the descendant of Malik Kambar Devarda, who was the last king of Assyria. My real last name is not Sargon; it's actually Devarda. But when my family moved here from like Iraq, the last name disappeared in like the paperwork when they were like going through the airport or immigration or whatever, and like the middle name became the last name, etc. But I'm actually the descendant of a king to a kingdom that no longer exists. So I'm a prince without a kingdom. What good does that do me? Nothing. But maybe I can get some TikTok followers out of that. Who knows? On Assyrian TikTok, shit. There's a niche. They need their leader. I'll get on there. AC says we got to get. I'm already on TikTok. I don't use TikTok, but I should.
Same. I really struggle with short form content. Like I'm not digestible. I'm just not a digestible girly. Like
it's not just that. It takes way too long to make a short form video unless you're editing out something that you've already said on stream into a clip. That's doable. But like shooting video to make and to edit into like a short form video, I hate it. I hate it. It's really I don't like it at all.
Yeah, my only claim to any kind of Arab ancestry is that people say I look Arab, but I
can believe it.
I don't know about that.
You could pass. You're very you're ambiguous. You could be
Yeah.
Greek. You have some Greek. You could also be Turkish, but more Greek than Turkish. You could be
about me?
Lebanese as well.
Yeah. Okay.
You're not very ambiguous. Yeah. Casey, we know where you're from.
Egyptian, Cypriot.
Peep the Drip. Collab of the century. Thank you, Peep the Drip. Was there anything else that someone wanted to ask before we let Brittany back to her free day off? Again, sorry for the interruption.
It's all good. It's all good. It's worth it. I did laugh to myself because I do want to do more collaborations. I just struggle being in the space sometimes where I want to, and then I laugh that I'm on a piano with three dudes who are beautiful, wonderful, fantastic, really. But then it makes me wonder, like, did you feel let down, especially James? Did you feel like, Casey, you said a lot already, so I feel like you already spoke enough today. But James, do you feel let down at the interaction, or was it what you hoped for? Did you want something more?
I enjoyed this, and I think that because I was as I said before, I'm like, okay, when she says that she doesn't really, sorry, and your pronouns are she, her, right?
Because I know she, her, him, his, whatever. All of them.
Okay. When she says that she doesn't really like watch Kyle, and then I'm like, I wanted to have more of a conversation in kind of where philosophy meets politics, because I think that's like the most productive conversation we can have between us. And I also think that's like the most interesting thing to talk about, because we don't really as this podcast, we don't really interact with a lot of people that are coming at this from more of a philosophical lens. So, but I really enjoyed this conversation, and I was throughout it, I'm like, yeah, there's more things I want to talk with you about. So we'll probably have to have you come on again, or maybe in some other kind of setting.
And that would
I gotta watch that.
Too.
I gotta watch that stream that you did, James.
I know. I gotta rewatch it now, because I might have been.
Yesterday.
I barely got through it too. I only watched. I was skipping around just to see like what. Cause I genuinely didn't know you reacted to me, and I was like, I'll just see what he made recently, and I was like, is that me?
No, I had smoke for everyone there too. I was like watching an FD signifier video. I'm like, this one's a miss. This did not hit properly.
I like FD too. He comes in my chat sometimes. And the funny thing about FD too is like sometimes I'll be on stream and I'm like, I don't mean to say anything negative about FD, but I really disagree. And I think he's a man. And like, sometimes it's like one of those things. But I think ultimately, I think the point is that I'm privileged enough to not have to debate Republicans. Like, I just don't want to talk to conservatives. And that's like a really great place for me to be in. Yeah, like that's really what I've worked so hard to do. But I will tell you, just in short, like philosophy meets politics. And they're connected in the sense that I really think politics is the way it is because we're not doing the philosophy. We're not asking ourselves our ethics. We're not asking ourselves why we wake up every day. And I think the struggle here is like politics are a result of that lack of deconstruction. Like how could we, because, people talk about like these enlightened philosophers, and they'll reference all of these men throughout history who were like, Marcus Aurelius is my favorite one. If you read Meditations, he goes like, be good to your wife and be good to your slaves. And I'm like, oh, yes, of course. Like, yes, of course. And that's the point, is like these great men allegedly throughout history also owned, enslaved people. They also, massacred people. So, I always think the great man and the hero is like a myth made so mediocre men have something to live for, and that's the problem, is that you are living off of a myth of being great instead of just being great. And by being great, I mean compassionate and kind and giving and thoughtful. Because I don't know about you, but in my daily life, I really just want to eat good food and listen to good music. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the problem, is that we have to contend with the reality that some people don't want to do that. And that's the question. And the weirdest question is, why do the people who want to eat food and listen to good music fall for the people who don't want to do that and start fighting their battles for them? Like, why would people who just listen to good music and love food and love their family start defending this administration, or start defending predators, or start like, what makes you go from, I'm going to put the hummus down, and actually start arguing on behalf of these people? It's like, pause, go back to the hummus, go back to the music, go back to, what are you doing? And I think that's the thing we have to look inward for. That's the thing I see in my own families. It's the thing I see in my own loved ones, where they would rather die on a hill of like, this is what I think, instead of asking, why do I think this?
Mm-hmm.
And because the why is scary. The why is so embarrassing. The why is honestly, the why is going to be something like, fuck, I don't know. How embarrassing is that to be a 56-year-old man and not know why you think the way you think, or to be a 70-year-old man and or woman and not even come to the realization of like, wait, why do I do this? Why do I do my hair or like dress the way I do or eat the things? Like even me going plant-based this year, I'm a year and some months in. This was I never thought I would be this girly because I was like making my beef jerky and I was like, meat was my personality. And now I think about who I am today and I think like, yeah, why was I eating animals so casually? Like, why was I consuming a living creature so casually? Like, why didn't I think about what had to happen for this animal to become edible for me? And the reason is because I was raised in a world that didn't think about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I ate meat my whole life. I didn't think about it. My brother owns a farm. I've helped him slaughter animals. I just don't think about it, you know? And then I started thinking about it and I was like, damn, even me with all my philosophy, all these books I've read, I didn't think about animals. So we all have something to learn all the time, always. And it's never ending, which might sound exhausting, but I tell you this right now, it gets less exhausting when you realize it really will make your life easier. It'll make you a better person. And that's all we can hope, you know? So that's where I think politics is necessary. I even vote from Croatia. I live in Croatia and I still vote.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
So just,
Yeah, it's
you know.
Voting at an embassy is really obnoxious. For those who don't know, I've tried to do it here once at the U.S. embassy in Beirut, and it's kind of a nightmare. There's
They
like
let
all
me
this
vote
extra.
Did you vote online at all? They let me go online. I had to submit a paper. I took a whole
no.
like I did it online. They made me do like a whole thing. They made me print out stuff, sign it, scan it, put it back. It was a whole thing, but I voted. So I was like, oh shit. Okay.
How does that even work? Like, what state does your vote contribute towards?
I'm a resident of Arizona State.
Oh, okay.
So
I'm a
yeah.
I'm out in Vienna right now. I'm a resident of Vienna, Virginia. Can't you guys tell?
Oh,
What's
That's so
She's
funny.
out in
Well,
Arizona. She's in Arizona,
yeah.
and I'm in Vienna. We're both
That's
committing
so
tax fraud
funny.
right now. I'm
Well,
kidding. No, we're not.
Oh, for the record, though, speaking of which, like I do, like there are taxes. I paid my federal taxes this year, girls. I paid my local tax this year. But you know what's funny? I wasn't allowed to vote local, Arizona. I could only vote federal. But I still paid my tax. You're welcome.
Okay,
You're
crazy.
welcome.
I don't pay taxes. I still file my taxes, but like and obviously like when YouTube sends us money, they already I think withhold some I have no idea, but I make below a certain threshold. So as an American living abroad, I don't pay anything unless I make over like 100K. Surprise everyone, I don't make 100K a year, so I'm not not paying.
One more subscriber will do it.
That's it, guys. We need 10 gifted subs, and I'm gonna hit 100K a year. Just want to show you guys one thing on the Assyrian. People were telling me show them the sword. This sword was handed to my great-grandfather by Haile Selassie, the Emperor of Ethiopia. He gave this to my great-grandfather as a gift.
Damn.
Which has now been passed down to me. Look at this. It's all rusted and shit, but like you. And I now, since Brittany's already an Assyrian, I will knight Comrade Casey and James. You're now honorary Assyrians. Welcome to the family.
Nice.
You are both officially as the Prince of Assyria, the unofficial Prince of Assyria. You are now knighted. Okay, this is real. This is a real sword. Okay, this is a real honor.
That's crazy.
Cool.
Is it even sharp?
It is sharp, but it's rusted. So one stab and you're getting.
That's even worse.
Wow.
That's even worse. That's a true weapon right there.
It's bad. Yeah, someone's definitely dying. I can like injure myself right now. So let's put this back carefully. No tetanus shots needed. Okay.
Wow.
Nice.
There you go.
Oh, awesome.
There you guys go. Brittany, thank you so much for being here. Honestly, it was super nice to have you here. I'd hope you'd come back. Let's all watch that stream that James did yesterday.
Oh God!
And then we'll come back.
I'm gonna get ousted from this podcast.
No, don't feel any pressure to. But I'll say this: thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you to the audience. It was nice. Casey, I don't know if you normally don't talk as much, but you know,
I'm not a talker. You know,
okay,
I just kind of hang out.
He's more judgmental than talking.
You give a good vibe though. Like your vibe is crazy. It's like so strong. It's giving like 7 Deadly Sins. Like it's giving what's his name, the Leo with the mustache. Yeah, Escanor. It's giving that. It's giving that.
Thank you.
He's the looks of the podcast.
Yeah,
he's just here to look great and make sure that everybody's.
He just mogs in the corner there.
Beautiful. Well done. Well done. Should I now tell me, do I just hang up on you? Is that what I do? And then
yeah, go. Feel free to hang up and we'll finish up. Thank you so much, Brittany.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
All right. Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
All right, well, that went great.
All right, now that she's gone, we can start shit talking her.
All right, James, what'd you say on that live stream? Let's go. Guys, hope you guys enjoyed that. I see for everyone, there was a lot of people saying that like they're here from Brittany's channel. Thank you so much for being here and for subscribing to the channel if you guys are joining. Very much appreciate you all being here. And yeah, Brittany's a great guest, does not disappoint. Let me quickly check. Yeah, welcome. We got a few extra subscribers. Welcome, everybody. Mila sends €5 and says, hope my humble super chat helps you make the 100K. Thank you. No, if I make 100K, I'm going to start paying taxes. We want to remain below. Let's get to 99K. Mila, thank you so much. By the way, all of these super chats are split amongst the three of us. Let me just quickly shout out everybody who sent the super chat already. We had Jim D. Dukers at the start of the stream before we even started with $20. Thank you so much, Jim. Brat sent in $50.
Let's go.
Wishing Mohsen a happy birthday. Thank you so much, Brad. And Mila, thank you so much for the generous super chat as well. For the rest of the show, we're just going to cover a little bit of news. We're going to be talking about mainly the Trump shooting. I don't even want to talk about Lebanon anymore. You guys can watch my show to figure out what's up. I'm tired of talking about it. Not tired, but like I'm literally. It's 11:30, but we got Trump. Let me start opening up some links real quick, and then. It's not very long. We have some fun stuff to talk about.
All right. While you're opening some links, I want to give my take on this whole Trump thing because, it brings me back to that quote unquote assassination attempt in what's his face, Pennsylvania, Butler, Pennsylvania. Remember that?
The OG one?
Well, the one that just everyone forgot about.
Yeah, this whatever 19-year-old kid, or I don't even remember how old he was, just chilling on this on the one building that overlooks this field area, and he kind of just sat there for hours and got the shot off, killed a guy, not the right guy, but he almost did. And I'm pretty sure, like looking back on that, that was leading up to the election. Correct? Trump was not yet president.
No, he was the candidate.
Yeah. And I think
that's the one where he put his fist up in the air and started going like USA, USA, like the iconic one.
Yeah.
That was dope as fuck, honestly.
Like, is that the one where he's like, oh, they hit him hard. He was hit so hard by the bullet. Or was he talking about a veteran at that point?
I knew he was going to win. Yeah, there was a veteran waiting who protected like his daughters who got shot in front of his family.
Yeah, I think it's looking back on that, I think it's safe to say that he probably won because, I mean, obviously the whole Biden fiasco and then dropping out after the debate and then Kamala coming in and replacing him and saying, oh, I'm not going to change any of our whatever compared to Biden. Like, I'm going to be the exact same as Biden. Obviously, that played a big part of it. But I don't think you can argue that the assassination attempt didn't at least boost, his
absolutely
polling or whatever. And I find it intriguing that, this happens at a time when like Trump's approval rating is probably the lowest it's been since he entered office after, starting all these wars that he promised not to start and, being in bed with like all these tech billionaires and whatnot. All of a sudden, there's some big thing going on. I'm not this guy to get into crazy skepticism, but
conspiracies.
You
make a really good point, especially the approval ratings being the lowest they've ever been, probably, and especially the Iran war being as unpopular as it is. So we were kind of theorizing about that on my stream earlier. But what I would say in contrast, at this point, shootings in America and political shootings are not like there's all the ingredients there for them to happen more often. You got uncontrolled you got 500 million guns in circulation. You got more guns in America than you have individual Americans. There's political division is the highest it's ever been. You have a media that's constantly stoking the fires. You have a super unpopular president. You have mental health that is ignored. You have people with criminal histories that are sold guns. like I think you do have all of the elements in place for there to be a lot of political violence, and I'm kind of surprised that it doesn't happen more often at this point. So while I think there's a lot of reasons for Trump to stage this, I think that like America is no longer the America it used to be. Like when they killed Kennedy back. I mean, there's always been political violence, but I think now, like everything that people have been warning about, like there's too many guns, there's the media, it's all kind of coming to a head now where we're seeing like the worst of it all kind of colliding. Like I think
Yeah.
like I wouldn't be shocked if I were to find out it's a psyop or it's like it's staged. Just like I think it makes perfect sense that it is actually happening because that's kind of where America's
Yeah.
at now.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you look back at like the Unabomber and like the shit he did. That wasn't, necessarily planned by the CIA. It was like in his own head, it was sort of against big government, but he was a subject of MK Ultra
Hmm.
way back in the day. So it's almost like they no longer have to orchestrate these plots and do all these psyops because people are so brain dead and so like confused as to who their enemies are and who is actually causing the poor living standards of their own life that like
Hmm.
the the US government can just kind of assume that things like this are going to happen
Right.
and they don't really have to do anything. They just have to, once it does happen, do X, Y, and Z to make it, a benefit for their cause or whatnot.
Hmm. But to be honest with you, most of the chat was agreeing with you. Like everyone in my chat was saying that that it's probably staged.
Let's go.
I just did a poll now to see where the chat lies. I'm saying was the shooting staged? So far, 5 votes in, 8 votes in, 100% yes. So most people like we're at a point where no one fucking trusts or believes anything anymore, and I kind of hate that. Like I hate anytime something happens, if I have to wonder, like, is this real? Is this staged? Is this a psyop? Like, to me, it's just exhausting. Like, it makes me want to, like, just ignore the thing and it makes me not care. It's kind of like AI. When I see a piece of art and it's like,
Yeah,
is this real? Is this AI? I'm like, fuck it. I don't even want to think about it. So I just scroll past.
right.
So wondering if something is real or not makes me not want to even engage with it. It's like, if it's
Yeah.
like, fuck it, who
Well,
cares? It's like,
there's also the secondary sort of conspiracy angle where like the people involved, the people at that dinner, even Trump himself, they don't even, and even going back to Butler, Pennsylvania, just it sounds schizo when I say it, but whatever. Um, like, the quote unquote deep state, people like to say, like,
Yeah.
it could have been orchestrated without Trump even knowing that he was potentially going to be killed or close to being murdered. And
mhm.
there's like a level of sort of like there's the Hollywood politics, and then there's the politics where it's like, what's really going on? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not going
No,
to
no,
make
look.
any claims, but
I can already hear him like, hey, like the last shooting went so great. Like, in terms of the polls, it was
Dude.
great. We chanted USA. I was on the cover of magazines, like, let's do it again. What's the harm? We'll get a little
right.
boost. Like I could totally see the pitch, or someone pitching it to Trump, like, Mr. President, how about another
Because
shooting attempt, another assassination
Another
attempt?
shooting
yeah,
attempt.
because this time around, it's not like a bullet didn't grace his ear, let alone a bullet wasn't even shot like in the
Yeah. So
room
so
that
what
they
even
were
happened?
in.
I'm looking at articles. He like shot like a security guard in his bulletproof vest.
That's what it
Oh,
looked
so
like
that's what.
on the
Yeah.
camera. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's so weird
So
because look, I'm looking at this video right now. He like sprints past the security, and
Yep.
then they like all go out and they did what you said, Casey, where they're just like like panic fire 10 shots. All of their bullets miss him apparently. Like he
Yeah.
didn't get hit at all. And then they just like tackle him and somehow he loses his shirt because the pictures are of him being shirtless.
yeah, shirtless. And the one picture of him wearing a shirt, it's an IDF shirt that I've seen from like way
Yeah.
back in the day that they found on
And
Instagram.
and what are the Republicans doing with this? They're using it to like advocate for Trump having a ballroom on the White House. That's what they're all doing. They're like, this would never have happened if the evil liberals didn't sue to stop the ballroom from being built.
Listen, hot take. If there's gonna be a mass shooting every time that motherfucker steps out in public, let him do it,
dude.
Let him
It's
do
so
it at the fucking White
dystopian.
House.
Like,
Let him do it at the White House. Like, why are you're putting other people at risk? You're putting innocent people at risk every time you want to make a speech because it's the fourth time someone tries to shoot the motherfucker. So yes, it is time for a ballroom, and keep that shit over there. If you want to get shot, do it in the White House. Keep it out of the Hilton.
It's fucking crazy. It's literally like our elites are running this country so poorly that they're afraid to step outside in case of getting shot at.
It's not safe for the elites. That's true, man. Just like that poor United Healthcare CEO. Do you want that to happen again? What if you know?
I love how much
wasn't
blame
walking the
Hassan
streets?
is getting for this.
Oh yeah, so yeah. Did I? Let me see. Let me go back to the links.
But the last thing that I want to say is like, this is the exact same thing that Charlie Kirk got shot for. Republicans advocate for a world in which there is just this level of gun violence. They advocate for this to be the norm. And now when there are, you know, when like Charlie Kirk literally got shot in the neck while advocating for there to be an appropriate amount of, like, I don't know, like gun violence is necessary in order for us to like shill for the gun industry. That's essentially what he was saying, and he got fucking shot in the neck. You know, like the Republicans in the Minnesota State House right now, they're talking about like, oh well, why would we go after guns? Let's just like increase the amount of defense budget for schools. This is the world that these leaders want, and they want people to be gunned down in the streets in order to get money by their lobbyists, and they just want to be above it all. They want to have a ballroom off of the White House, so they never have to leave their, you know, their guarded estates.
To the two of you, have you guys realized, now putting the war with Israel aside, because that's something we can't control, it's a giant geopolitical game. We're getting bombed by Israel. Israel is going to bomb all of its neighbors. But besides Israel bombing us and Lebanon being at war with Israel, do you realize how like much shit you guys in the States have been dealing with since we like started the show? Like Minnesota, people being gunned down in the streets, political assassinations, like taking Israel out of the equation. Doesn't it seem like the US is way more politically unstable than a fucking country like Lebanon where we are known for our political instability? Like what is happening in the States right now? Like I guess a nice way to, not a nice way, but like I guess comparing yourselves to me can kind of contextualize how much America has like fallen, how far it's come,
100%.
like how far, like I'm the one who's supposed to be talking about political assassinations. That's what we were dealing with in the mid to early 2000s. All this sort of people being gunned down in the street by law enforcement. That doesn't fucking happen in Lebanon, dude. Like, so the fact that, yeah, like it's just kind of crazy to like, who's the third worlder now? Huh? Not feeling so tough right now.
I mean, it's true. Like, I mean, the actions of like the U.S. over the past 6 months, it looks much more like a dying empire than like a powerful empire.
Yeah,
100%.
Because if we've been powerful, and when you are powerful, you don't really have to do anything. You have the world is in your hands. You're in control. You have all these different quote unquote traders in all these governments that are basically keeping a nice, safe world for you to extract whatever surplus you want from all these countries. But once we're actually just like giving all these bombs to Israel, just kind of letting them toy with a nuclear war, and we're bombing Iran nonstop, and we went over, we kidnapped Maduro, and now he's in the same prison as Luigi Mangione and all of this. Like it's
Wait, no way. Maduro's in the same prison as Luigi?
Yeah, they're in the same prison on Manhattan.
Dude, someone needs to make like an odd couple sitcom of Luigi and Maduro sharing a cell together in prison.
Well, what's his face? That one rapper with the rainbow hair.
Tekashi 6ix9ine?
Machine Gun?
Yeah, he was in that prison, and he got Maduro's signature on like a pair of shoes or something.
That's fucking
no
crazy.
way.
Yeah.
Damn it, I'd watch like a reality show of those guys just hanging out in prison. Trying to like
Sounds
stay
awesome.
safe.
I want to go there.
Okay, let's. So this was the video. This was the clip. You've all seen it. Let me try to turn this down a bit. So you can hear the gunshots early in the video. You hear 4 pops.
I mean, the first thing I noticed about this was how slow the Secret Service or the security was to react to this.
Yeah.
Like it took them like 20 seconds. Then one guy just kind of like slowly walks over and stands in front of Trump.
And completely leaves Melania exposed, which I want to talk about. But so no one here seems to realize. Now, look, I don't blame them. There's the band playing in the background. So like, and they're looking at whatever this is, like a magic trick or whatever. Someone described this guy as like, I forgot what he is, but he's like showing them some kind of magic trick. Like they still have no idea what is
I didn't
going
even
on.
notice that's what they were doing. That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
it's showing. He's like revealing. So this lady's like, oh, what is that?
What a reaction.
And yeah, this is where sort of people are starting to get down. Like, people, look, it's not that dramatic of it. To be honest with you guys, like, I mean, no one, like, people are panicked, but not really panicking. People were filming selfie videos while on the floor.
Yeah. And then they rescued JD Vance before Trump. I don't know.
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
I
noticed
know.
that. Like, what does that mean?
It's so
about,
fucking
like,
funny.
So that I just want to show you guys this. So yeah, much respect for this gentleman who quite literally runs to stand in front of the president and block him with his body. So,
Really?
Wait, God, so fucking loud. So we got Trump, we got everybody.
Barely a trot. He walks over there, and then just
And
kind
look,
of.
I love that
puts a
Melania is just
swampy
right
ass in
here,
Trump's
dude.
face, bro.
And his wife is literally just right here, open to like whatever the guy wants, whatever the shooter wants to do. I just kind of find that funny. I don't know why. Like she has to hide under the table for some protection. Look at that. She's like, oh shit. No one's looking out for me. But yeah, just very slowly walking towards the president. Like there's no sense of urgency. Even the clip of like the guy running, the assailant, I saw like some security footage of him sprinting. Like he caught the security by surprise. They're just like walking around, casually talking. Like they're not sitting there alerted, like ready to like catch whatever. They're just like chilling, like not expecting anything to happen. Like he took him by surprise. Like you have one job is to be alert. It's your only.
When the president is there too, it's not like an average Thursday afternoon.
Yeah, we'll try to pull up that footage in a second. I'll try to see if I can find it right here. But like, yeah, just the fact that this guy's standing there. So this is art. This I found great. So
yes, this video's so fucking good.
So RFK is right here. By the way, I love that Stephen Miller is like using his wife as a human shield, his pregnant wife. Look at that. Look at that. She's protecting him. She's like taller than him in this scenario. She's covering more of his body than he is of hers. So
what's the point of having a wife if you can't use them as human shields?
Especially pregnant, so it's extra protection for him. He's extra safe now.
Extra body in there.
Dude. Extra protection.
Extra protection. And look, okay, it's RFK, dude. Look at his wife. By the way, this is Cheryl from Curb Your Enthusiasm. For anyone who doesn't know, he's married to Cheryl from Curb Your Enthusiasm. She's grabbing onto the security guard's back to try to get like his attention.
I think it's fair to say her enthusiasm was curbed.
Definitely here. He ignores her. She like puts her hand up in the air and like aggravation, like holy fuck, like I can't believe I'm dealing with this.
Dude, she's jacked though.
Yeah, she's pretty jacked. Her husband is covered with like 4 guys, and she's completely abandoned. Like this is honestly insane. She's crouching just behind them, just hoping not to get shot. She could have been shot 12 times, by the way, by now, while her husband is safely and you know being escorted away.
It's so fucking good.
And now this guy notices her at the last second and like grabs her. But like this whole time, she's like trying to grab for his shirt. Please help someone. Oh, I guess not. That's
Anthony, can you play that Dana White clip that I posted?
Let's go to Dana. Okay, here's just another shot of the human shield.
Dude, he's groping her too. Okay, interesting.
He's groping his own wife. I know. Okay, yeah, Dana White is crazy.
All of a sudden, it just started getting noisy. Tables getting flipped over, guys running in with guns. and they were screaming, "Get down!" I didn't get down. It was fucking awesome. I literally took every minute of it in, and it was pretty.
They were telling everyone to get down, but I ain't no coward. I ain't no B word.
Honestly,
I'm not
though,
gonna get down.
I fucking respect this. Like, Trump getting shot at is beginning to be like a dog bit man story, right? Like, how many times do we need to hear about this? Tell me when Trump shoots someone. That's the story I need to be alerted to.
I hear you. No, there's also something that I debated on my earlier show. Let's.
It was fucking awesome. I literally took every minute of it in, and
I guess him saying it's fucking awesome could be maybe unnecessary. Like, I understand him saying I wanted to take every minute of it in because being in these surreal situations, you do kind of want to, like, it is, you're getting an adrenaline rush. It does feel exciting, as scary as it is. Like I was describing, when anytime like you hear like bombardments here in Lebanon, or like something happening. I was walking with my girlfriend a few weeks ago out in like the mountains, and then we heard like a series of bombs, and it was super loud. The ground was shaking. It's scary and it's terrifying, but it's also like kind of exciting, and you're like, holy shit, like this is so, I feel like I'm in a movie. You don't feel like you're in a real moment, so you struggle to kind of process what's happening. So I do get that, but like being like, it's fucking awesome, dude, like that was fucking great, like that's probably a little bit like
It's like a fucking 5-year-old kid.
Yeah.
it was a pretty crazy, unique experience.
So you were on the aisle. What exactly?
I was sitting. We were sitting right in front of the table.
Okay.
Right in front of where the president was.
Yeah.
But I find that hilarious because I saw a similar conversation with Wolf Blitzer, who's press and who's news. Okay, he was talking about like how he was kind of close to the shooter, and from what I understand, the shooter was like outside the door. He never came in, and then Wolf Blitzer was like, the security jumped on top of me. Then they carried me to the bathroom, which wasn't very far. So they sat Wolf Blitzer, senior CNN like journalist and correspondent, at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, near the exit by the bathroom, and Dana White, the UFC guy, was front fucking row, front and center. Like, I just found that to be hilarious.
That's
like,
so good.
Fuck Wolf Blitzer. But the fact is, like, the security carried me nearby to the bathroom. I'm like, why are they sitting Wolf Blitzer next to the bathroom and next to the entrance? Like, he's the only one who got a good look at the shooter. He probably had the worst seat in the house. I guess Trump.
I mean, let's be
CNN.
real. He's probably got a leaky bladder. They might have put him there for a reason.
He does, you know what? He
Also,
probably
Dana White
asked
is
for that.
deaf. And then maybe it was hard. Maybe this was an like them being anti-ableist by setting Dana White up front so he could hear better.
I did not. So I did not know. Is he actually deaf, or does he have like hearing problems?
Yeah, he has pretty bad hearing problems.
Oh, okay, that's true. So I did not know that. And
No,
also,
but
I
it's
think
also
maybe,
just because it's a corrupt administration.
no. Also, Wolf Blitzer might have actually requested that seat for the leaky bladder. Good point.
What exactly happened? So someone got tackled, or like what?
Nobody got tackled, but guys came in looking for shooters, and they came toward our table. I thought the shooter was over by us or something.
It's crazy, dude. Kyle Kalinske shares that, saying it was fucking awesome. Yeah.
So fucking good.
It's crazy, dude. Okay, so we saw that. This is RFK. We saw RFK. We saw that. Here's the picture of them, getting JD. While just Trump is just chilling there. My thought for this was like, I guess they know that JD's the future of the party, right? Like Trump's he's old. He's starting wars we don't want to start. JD's probably going to run in 2028 or whatever. So they're like, get him out first because he's the future of the party.
Yeah, is that a little bit treasonous, maybe? Going after the vice president first?
Right? Is it? Yeah, and like he has no problem. Like, shouldn't he be like, no, I won't leave without the president? Like, I don't know. Like, is that just crazy of me to think? Like, no, get the president first. Get my wife first, or like whatever. Get this woman first. Like, they're just so happy to be escorted away. All of these fucking Republican alpha men that like make fun of the woke left and the woke leftist men aren't manly enough or whatever. All I see is dudes being whisked away by men, more than happy as they just abandon the fucking women behind.
It's very
That's all I
romantic.
see. Yeah, look at this.
Well, also, JD Vance can probably, well, he definitely is more nimble than Donald Trump. He can like run off the stage without much help.
Well,
But,
didn't
like, with
Trump eat shit?
Well, speaking of eating shit, My Kenkus.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
He needs extra, security because he'll take a little longer to get off the stage.
It's the gout. The gout got him.
Right, he's
He's
like
choking on
fucking
his,
Doran
his
Martell.
bag of piss in his pants.
And this lady killed
The
me too,
fucking
dude. This
women
lady.
crawling away.
Like they're carrying all the men out while the women are like desperately trying to like either crawl under something. It's just so embarrassing, dude. Crazy,
The
dude.
fucking Mountaineer Corps. How many knapsacks do they need?
Insane, man. Insane.
Now, didn't it look like JD Vance's wife was there? So he got off from the wife abandoning allegations.
But he would have definitely abandoned her, like just based on what everyone else did.
Yeah.
She would have just been sitting there on her own. This kind of made me laugh. Please get on your knees and pray for President Trump and for our country right now. I love that it's like she's being very specific, like get on your knees and pray. It's like praying's not enough, thoughts and prayers. This is the full act.
We don't get on our knees for Trump. That's your job. Fair enough.
Get on your knees. Look, I know we were just talking about dark woke and stuff, but probably Kyle's funniest tweet was her eating like a plate of beans or something. I don't know what it was. She was on like a barbecue, and Kyle Kalinske just writes, "That's a lot of beans, you nasty." The fact that he used the B word, I guess that's what kind of made it like makes it unusable.
Punctuated it.
Punctuated it, but just that's a lot of beans, you nasty. Replace the B word with whatever you want. But just the commenting on her eating beans and just that, I have to, we're not going to look it up. But that was a good picture of her eating beans. Okay, so get on your knees and pray.
Get on your knees and pray.
We got Erica Kirk being escorted out.
Now, hold on. Are we sure this is not Drewski?
That's what I was saying. All I can see is Drewski now. But no, it doesn't seem to be Drewski. It seems to be authentic footage of Erica Kirk.
And she's actually walking this slow. This was not slowed down at all.
It's not. Honestly, I've never seen her cry this much for her husband. Like did she even cry this much when Charlie got killed?
I think that it's taken her a while to grieve. Everyone grieves in different ways. The tears are finally coming out.
The tears are finally coming out. But I mean, look, traumatic moment for her. I mean, she's just like, holy, and that's what you get for being Republicans. That's what you guys get for loving guns. Like, holy fuck, shouldn't you be happy people exercising their Second Amendment right to carry a gun, potentially even assembling it live inside of a facility, because people are like wondering how did they get the weapon in and wasn't there a lot of security? So apparently the weapon might have been assembled. So some people are saying it was 3D printed. I'm not sure. I've not done any follow-up on all this information, but
well, in this video, she like notices the camera, and then she says something right as she's passing the camera. She says like, "I just want to go home." She waits to be right, like at this point, all of her actions are just 100% staged, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't trust anyone from the Kirk family, honestly. And when that clip of Charlie Kirk saying that she's more conservative than he is, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what does this woman believe that he's scared of her? That she's the conservative supreme at home? So yeah, if she makes Charlie Kirk look like a little wimp, then let's see. Walter Hudson says Tim Walz is on tape eagerly longing for the news that Trump is dead. There are multiple articles about Democrats associating with Hassan Piker, a New York Times podcaster who says stealing and murder are justified. How is this our reality?
Nice.
Wait, does anyone say anything in this clip?
No, I don't think so. It's just about the. I just think like this guy's hilarious. This guy literally got removed from his assignment committees because he was drunk with a gun with another Minnesota state senator, and they got pulled over, and the guy's like out of his gourd.
Oh, this guy's one of you guys. This guy's local representative.
No.
Yeah,
Is that from Minnesota?
I think Casey voted for him.
Casey, you voted for this guy? Is he a Democrat or a Republican?
He's a Republican.
Oh, okay.
But Hassan is now saying that stealing and murder is justified.
Jet Fury, yes, Brittany was already on. Brittany was the first hour and 20 minutes of the show, so you guys can go back and watch it. And once the stream is done, I'll add time codes. Don't worry, I got y'all's. Yeah, blame. Look, it's important to blame Hassan for everything. Okay,
True.
if Hassan says murder and stealing is justified, then I'm gonna go steal and murder. Okay, that's just what I'm gonna do. That's how I function. That's how I listen to streamers. I do exactly, and I take what streamers say literally out of context, and then I do it. I go practice what they preach every day, every single day. Let's go. Sorry, yeah. More. He's got more. Shit. Only one side is explicitly from the top down calling for violence against the other side. If you had Republicans associating with a right-wing equivalent of Hassan Piker, this guy's got it in for Hassan Piker.
Yeah.
If you had Republicans associating with a right-wing equivalent of Hassan Piker under a Democrat administration, they would be going to jail. I don't think they'd be going to jail. This was already happening. Weren't people blaming like Joe Rogan, for like the rise of Republicans and whatever? No one threatened to arrest Joe Rogan. In fact, people were begging Kamala Harris to go on Joe Rogan to try and get some views.
This CNN clip is funny because it's also them trying to say that, oh, obviously he was a leftist shooter. There's like no evidence of that.
Yeah, in fact, the only picture I've seen, 2 pictures of him, one shirtless and one of him wearing an IDF shirt. So anyone wearing an IDF shirt, I automatically assume that they're not a leftist. Yeah.
This guy's obviously another of these left-wing lunatics who's come to kill the president. 3 assassination attempts on the president now. Charlie is dead. You have people on the left lionizing
R.I.P. Charlie Kirk.
Luigi Mangione.
Well, there's a bar in Wisconsin.
Let me finish.
Yeah.
You have Poland.
Now, I do have to say, Trump apparently called into Fox News and said that he was anti-Christian. So it's not like he's anti-Republican, he's anti-Trump. So if he's wearing an IDF shirt and Trump says that he had an anti-Christian manifesto, there's weird details here. Some strange details.
All of these Trump shooters are so hard to categorize. What do they all end up being? One of them
schizophrenic.
The first one, the one who wrote shit on the
Republican.
bullets. Bella Ciao, that guy, the big shooting that happened. What did that guy end up being?
Well, Tyler
Democrat or
Robinson,
Republican?
he was just apolitical,
He was a Trump
basically.
supporter, I think.
He was a school
Apolitical.
shooter type character.
Yeah.
And then the other weirdo who tried to kill him and they were at a graveyard or something. Where were they? The second attempt?
He was
a
a
golf course.
The golf course one, yes.
What was he? A pro-NATO extremist?
Some weird fucking dude.
And then the guy who shot Charlie Kirk, I don't know, his whole family was Republicans pretty much.
That's crazy, dude.
Allegedly, we don't even know if he shot Charlie.
Right, yeah, we don't know.
Yeah, no, of course. It was TPUSA did it.
Also, they just released the footage from the camera behind him. I don't
Really?
know if you guys saw that.
No.
Damn, no.
Behind Charlie Kirk. A little interesting.
Anything new there?
Well, let's just say there was no exit wound.
Oh shit.
And it's supposedly a sniper rifle from 300 yards.
Right, it doesn't
away
make
or
sense
whatever.
because I thought it hit his bulletproof vest that he was wearing and then ricocheted up into his neck. So how could a sniper rifle with that much force ricochet off of a vest like that? Wouldn't it just, I don't know, embed itself into the vest? I don't know about ballistics.
I thought it was a straight neck shot. I didn't even know it ricocheted. I thought it was just went straight for the neck.
Well, it makes me think of the pager attacks. I don't know. Israel. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right. Fake posting.
A chatter says they found this guy's blue sky and he is seemingly a liberal and he thought Hassan was a grifter.
Oh, okay. So maybe a bad empanada fan? I'm kidding though.
A liberal Zionist, maybe. Who knows?
Man, that's
An
so
Ethan
funny.
Klein fan, perhaps.
Ethan Klein fan? No,
If he's a
allegedly.
fucking Ethan Klein fan, I'm gonna lose it.
I think the bad empanada is a good empanada. Okay,
Bro,
We
by
love
the way,
bad
are you
empanada.
guys on Blue Sky at all?
Not at all. No.
I made an account. I can't fucking log into it anymore. I'm
like,
done.
I think I made an account when it first came out, but I wasn't really impressed by the activity.
The app literally just stopped working on my phone. Like, I can't open it up anymore.
Like, I hate Republicans, but I can't be on a platform with just liberals. Like, I think that would be maddening. You need the craziness of Twitter. You need some of that. Whatever the fuck is happening on there, I don't know, but like, just liberals on Twitter, I feel like I would go crazy. I can't.
Yeah.
I don't, like, I've never even checked it out. I've never even considered even Threads. I made a Threads account just for like to be like, well, maybe because one of my crew members at the time was like, listen, if Threads picks up, you want to be on there early. You know what I mean? I was like, and then I just couldn't, dude. Like, if people are being too nice.
That first day Threads came out was cinema, and then day 2, just nothing.
Nothing, dude.
Nothing since then.
Let's see what is left. So yeah, let's watch the rest of this clip.
For political violence on the left, and I heard Hakeem Jeffries say this week, it's maximum warfare all the time.
We are in an era of maximum warfare. Everywhere, all the time.
We have a violent streak on the left and a rhetoric problem on the left, and it must be acknowledged today.
When I was at the Department of Justice, what we found is after the 2020 election, there was a significant rise of threats to all elected leaders, state legislators, some who were killed, to our president, Joe Biden at the time, Barack Obama. Someone tried to go into his residence. This is a problem.
Who's the president?
Hold on.
How many assassination attempts?
There are several assassination attempts to other presidents that were not successful. I agree. It should be investigated about why they continue. What are the failures of the Secret Service?
And the Democratic just quickly, the Speaker of the House in Minnesota, a Democrat, lost her life to political violence this past summer. This is not solely a problem on the left. It is a problem across the board. It is a rising crisis.
Don't downplay it this
It is
morning.
rising crisis.
How dare you downplay? I mean, someone walked into Nancy Pelosi's house with like a fucking hammer or something, right? Like, I mean, this happens all the time. And yeah, didn't a Democratic, they got killed, right? Someone got killed a year ago.
The Speaker of the House, like the top Democrat underneath walls, got assassinated, and then a Democratic senator and his wife got shot in the back multiple times while like laying on their like 20-year-old daughter, protecting her with their bodies from bullets. They thankfully survived, but the Speaker of the House, her husband, and her dog all got assassinated by a crazed right-winger.
Yeah.
That's
I find
fucking crazy.
It weird how like, I mean that was insane, and like people talked about it for like a few hours, and then like that was it, and it was like the most mysterious, strange, like well equipped, like all this equipment, not much of a motive other than obviously like killing them, but you know.
And that was in a time when the House was tied. The House and the Senate were tied. So any Democrats that couldn't show up to vote would mean that Republicans could get their way.
It's nuts, dude.
Stop generalizing the left. And stop generalizing.
Dude, his fucking face.
Rising crisis in this country.
Stop generalizing the left.
Stop generalizing the left. Nope.
And stop generalizing the left as the entire left.
Candidates campaigning with Hassan Piker.
Listen to me.
Oh, again, they can't help themselves. They can't help themselves. Okay, look. So I guess they really are making Hassan Piker the poster child for like problematic leftist commentators, and I don't know if it's gonna stick. He's still doing fine, right? Like, who's the only people not willing to sit with Hassan Piker are like Cory Booker and shit like that, right? So it's like
it's a phase. It's a phase. Like they're gonna be bringing up Hassan Piker for like into next week, and then they're gonna end it, I'm pretty sure.
But you'd come to think, dude, he's so above and beyond everyone else. Like, there's
generalizing the left.
Who else would they even use? Like, there's no other leftist political commentator online that they could even mention other than Hassan. Like, he's so ubiquitous with like online leftist commentary. I mean, unless they're talking TYT or like Majority Report, but those are much older. Older
I feel like
shows,
I feel like once more candidates that have campaigned with Hassan start winning seats, they're going to drop it. Like once Zoran has proved himself to be an actual popular politician, people stopped bringing up Zoran like he was kind of the boogeyman. I think that a lot of these type of like political and I don't know what you would call it, political strategist class think they think that it's like an albatross around, like Hassan is an albatross around the necks of some of these people, but they're going to be proven wrong eventually, and then they're going to be forced to shut up about it.
You're right. I think you're right, and he is going to prove himself. I think to be because he is a kingmaker. He is. He does. When you go on his show, he does give you a lot of exposure. He's a good
right
creator. And if I were a social media rep or like the publicist of some of a Democratic candidate, the first thing I would try to do is get them on Hassan Piker's show, and like breaking points and stuff like that. Like I think these are all very valuable resources. What else?
As the left is the entire problem. I'm not mad at you, Scott. I want you to be truthful.
Okay, dude, the Fetterman tweet is fucking hilarious.
Fetterman. So we were there. Okay, so yeah, he's sharing the picture that says Mediaite. I was inside the Washington Hilton tonight. The security was downright awful. We were there front and center. That venue wasn't built to accommodate an event with the line of succession for the U.S. government. After witnessing last night, drop the TDS and build the White House ballroom for events exactly like these. Oh, that ogre. What's TDS? What is that?
Trump derangement syndrome, I'm assuming.
Oh, Trump derangement syndrome. Drop the DTS and build. I mean, honestly, I agree with just like build the White. Look, I don't give a fuck if there's a ballroom or not in the White House. But like, yeah, if there's gonna be shootings every time, I guess build it. Fuck it. But it's always Fetterman. Like, he can't help himself. How's this guy even a Democrat again? What's the last Democratic thing this guy like said or voted for or something?
Drop the fucking TDS. I can't. And oh god, I can't with him.
Isn't it like illegal to have to be like mentally impaired and be in the government?
Yeah.
Isn't there some kind of act or like
there might be grounds for impeachment?
25th Amendment.
Yeah, like something, dude. This guy's not mentally well. Didn't he like drive a car and pass out while driving and almost killed his family? And like he like talks to himself or shit. Like he's just like ever since the stroke. And again, I'm not trying to disrespect anyone who has a stroke. Obviously, it's a horrible fucking thing to have happen to someone. But like, you shouldn't be a senator if you're struggling. Okay, Ben Shapiro also going on the attack. This guy's perhaps the biggest piece of shit on the internet, and Democrats mainstream him. Disgusting. Let's see what he's saying here.
Social murder. The Engels wrote about the concept of social murder, and Brian Thompson, as the United Healthcare CEO, was engaging in a tremendous amount of social murder, the systematized forms of violence, the structural violence of poverty, the for-profit paywalled system of healthcare in this country, and the consequences of that are tremendous amounts of pain, tremendous amounts of violence, tremendous amounts of deaths. And that was a fascinating story for me, because Americans are very draconian about crime and punishment. They're very black and white on this issue. And yet, because of the pervasive pain that the private healthcare system had created for the average American, I saw so many people immediately understand why this death had taken place.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Based with our boy Hassan. One form of violence has been normalized and accepted, and one is demonized. Obviously, shooting someone with a gun looks more fucked up and violent and, you know, whatever you want to say, that's fair. But also people have gotten so comfortable with the thought of like signing away people's lives with like the stroke of a pen and like these detached ways of killing where it doesn't really feel like killing or crime, but it's like, you know, it's like a drone operator. War has become also so disconnected. People used to face each other with swords and have to stab each other in the fucking stomach to like, you know, now you just sit behind a computer and you play Call of Duty essentially, and you drop bunker busters on people. A couple of small things, I guess, that we could still talk about. Also, would you guys be interested in doing the 6-7 speed challenge?
Hell no.
What's that?
Come on.
I don't know. What is that?
You haven't seen it? You do 6-7. You see how many times you can do 6-7 in 20 seconds? There's like a link.
That's Gen Alpha and millennial behavior only.
Listen, I saw people. I had to try it because XQC and people like that were doing it. I was like, I got to be faster than them.
I
but
respect it.
I mean, you got that boxing skill down. I feel like you're gonna wreck us at that.
I was sore though; it wasn't helping, and like my camera angle wasn't like I didn't know what kind of movement to do to get the camera to get it. It's okay; we don't have to do it.
It looks a little, I don't know.
It looks horrible. James, we got 2 more things to talk about real quick, folks, and we shall let y'all go. James, you went viral.
Oh yeah, this was hilarious.
Where'd you disappear to? Let's see. So this tweet that you put out, walk us through this. What happened here?
Bro, first of all, Anthony, you posted something, right? And then the Surfs took your post as theirs? Is that correct? I thought you showed us a post that you made on Twitter, and then the Surfs like took your post and like reposted it.
Which one was it?
I don't remember. It was a while ago. But anyway, they did the same thing with me. They downloaded this image and they posted it as their own image, and they're like, "Was Ethan Klein always this racist?"
Listen, Lance from the Surfs knows how to play the Twitter game. Okay, he knows how to play the Twitter game.
We have to hold him accountable for this. This cannot go unanswered.
I can invite him on if you want. If you want to accuse him in person, we can have Lance on.
Lance seems cool.
You can tell him, Lance, I love. He's so funny. You could have him explain himself.
Dude, Lance is like, I don't. He's got like a fucking cinder block of a jaw. I'm jealous of it.
Right? It's those Canadians. Those Canadians have very
Canadian. I like him even more. Okay. Anyway, so
don't even get me started.
I go on to Reddit. This is the first fucking post that's suggested to me. I'm like, okay, this is just like stupidly racist. So I screenshot it. You can see there's only 3 upvotes. It's been on there for 40 minutes. Now, I don't know about you guys and your communities, but if you had a post that was openly racist and it's there for 40 minutes, would it have 3 upvotes? Or would your communities be like downvoting it and reporting it to the mods into oblivion?
It probably wouldn't be approved in the first place. I don't know if does the H3 Reddit have to approve posts before they're posted, or they post them and then someone goes through them.
I don't know. I've never posted there.
I can't remember, but first I just got to say this is a funny picture of Jank. It's always fun. Like Jank has so many
He's very
weird
emotive.
He's very emotive. There's all sorts of facial expressions of Jank, so this one is kind of funny in particular. Very like just the mouth. It's like it's gonna sound weird. It's reminding me of like a bird's mouth because the tongue is so pink. Anyways, bizarre.
Kind of reminds me of like a Muppet.
Yeah, it's very weird. Jank makes me laugh so much. So my parents are first cousins. It's okay. It's a Turkish thing. Jank Uyghur. Being inbred keeps our race pure and healthy. The race, and then like it's literally
so
like
stupid.
The point of the joke is like also like making fun of a race in general. They're not making fun of Jank or like Hassan.
Right.
They're making fun of a whole race of people. So it's very obvious what this is. And yeah, so James, you shared this by saying, wonderful community Ethan Klein is fostering. He and his mods are now allowing purely racist posts against Hassan the Hun and Jank Uyghur, which then Hassan retweeted this with the picture, the Fetterman Ethan Klein mashup picture.
Could you pull that up?
I saw that one. Classic.
Let's scroll down.
I know.
Has he been tweeting a lot?
He has to get off Twitter, man.
Hassan, stop tweeting. We're almost there.
Yeah, I mean, it's been probably a week ago now.
A week? We'll get there. We'll get there together. We're all here. Has it been a week since this tweet?
I don't know, maybe. But I just thought that the responses were so funny because there were 2 different responses that I'd be getting to this from Ethan Klein fans. Oh yeah, there it is. It would either be Well, that post only has 3 upvotes and 2 comments. So, and you're trying to say that it's reflective of the entire H3 community. It was also taken down by mods after I posted it, whether it's because I like made it popular or
Yeah, you
there
obviously
yeah,
they had to take it down at that point.
But they're either like, this isn't reflective of the H3 community, or it's people being like, well, Hassan actually is inbred. It's like, okay, so this is definitely reflective of the H3 community.
Yeah, no, it definitely is, dude. They have no problem being racist as long as it's racist towards someone that Ethan doesn't like. It's such a fucked up community, dude. They literally the fucking co-host of their after show denies there being a famine in Gaza, and it's like, no, it's not a famine, or they like this. It's like you can't at this point. Horrible. And then you also had another tweet about you found a clip of Ethan randomly mentioning Hassan being inbred and just making the entire crew very uncomfortable.
I just realized something really funny and interesting. Okay. Totally aside, and I'm not going to linger on this, but I've called Hassan out for calling Jews inbred, but he's inbred.
My grandparents are.
Who's inbred?
Hassan.
Oh, I thought you motioned gestured to AB.
No, AB. I don't know. No, not AB. I mean, Hassan's inbred. Hassan is inbred.
Well,
if
he was gesturing at anybody, it was at Zach.
No,
he was. He was pointing at Zach.
Okay, I literally said Hassan is inbred. But I'm just saying it's funny because Hassan deploys that as an insult a lot, but he's the one that's inbred a little bit.
Okay.
I just realized that, guys, and isn't that interesting?
That's epic, man.
Good vibes on the show.
No, yeah, I just realized something really funny.
Ethan is much more inbred, according to his ancestry
Bro,
DNA
he bragged about how inbred he was to Sam Cedar.
Yeah, he's 99% Ashkenazi. I mean, come on.
Okay, let's quickly go to the H3 podcast. Let's see what they're up to over there.
Oh, nice.
Jesus Christ.
Perv, what? A new lawsuit? Oh, no. I was like, is he doing another lawsuit? This lawsuit could end Mr. Beast. Wait, yesterday was Friday. So now they're doing more Trisha content. Look at this.
Oh, yeah.
Trisha. And look, their Trisha videos aren't even getting to 500K anymore. Like their max now, they're peaking at 400K views. The last 500K they had was like when they first talked about Trisha like 3 weeks ago or whatever. They're now legitimately maxing out at 400K.
Looks like they got a little boost for the quartering going after him.
439. I guess that's good for them now.
I don't know.
But the fact that they can't look, even the Noah Samson lawsuit video is not even at 400K. Like he probably only sued him just to make content out of it, and that's not even paying off anymore. Yeah. That's what I find crazy. Something that I wanted to show you guys.
Well, you can tell how motivated he was to sue Noah Samson by waiting until the very last day to file the lawsuit.
Did you guys manage to see this video? Let me start it over. Do you recognize this handsome devil down here?
To bring a class action against the United States government, specifically the Secretary of State Rubio, for allowing this kind of conduct to happen. We have something called the Lee Act, and the Lee Act basically says, named after Senator Patrick Leahy, was passed in 2007, that basically says that if you're going, the United States cannot support or give aid or military aid of any sort to agencies, government, foreign agencies that are committing gross humanitarian conduct. The idea that these individuals could run rampant and blow up people's homes left and right.
The War Powers Resolution that I'm co-leading with Congresswoman Ramirez orders the removal of U.S. armed forces, participation in unauthorized hostiles in Lebanon, including involvement in targeting assistance, intelligence sharing, which is incredibly important for the Israeli airstrikes and ground invasion. The United States right now is assisting in this destruction through the weapon sales, intelligence, logistics they offer, as well as diplomatic cover. It covers, again, the Israeli government, and Congress has the power and duty to put an end to this illegal, again, invasion and what I call an ethnic cleansing campaign. War Powers resolution in Congress is privileged, and I'll teach you guys what this means. This means they cannot take it up for a vote. We're going to force a vote on the War Powers resolution. Because I know sometimes you think we're alone. We're not. This is just half of all of the organizations that are supporting the War Powers resolution to end the hostile, again, war and to discriminate bombings and ethnic cleansing that we see in Lebanon.
Oh, shit. That was a loud sound effect. So just shout out to AB's dad, folks. For those of you who didn't recognize him, that is AB's dad, Abdullah Ayad, from the H3 podcast, who who works for Ethan and Ela, who are justifying what's happening in Lebanon and southern Lebanon, and go like, well, if people ask what's happening, then AB's dad is out there suing the American government, starting while Ethan Klein sues creators for reacting to his fucking videos, and he goes after creators to ruin them financially. AB's dad is out there suing the U.S. government for funding governments and funding militaries that they know are using that money and that funding to kill civilians and attack civilian targets. I had never heard of the Leahy Act, which was passed in 2007. I think that's fucking crazy. Now, do I think these lawsuits are going to go anywhere? No, I think they're mainly symbolic, and it's just a way for people to feel like they're doing something. And hey, it's an attempt, and if they can get something through this lawsuit, great. I don't expect anything to happen, but I do like the fact that AB's dad is out there fighting the good fight, and I just wish AB would be more like his father, because I think that's pretty fucking badass, and just the irony, you know what I mean? And I would love for AB to at least bring that up on the podcast. I'd love to see what Ethan and Ela think of AB's dad wanting to sue the American government because they're sending Israel money for weapons that they're using against civilians. I'd love to hear that take. Unfortunately, I don't think AB would ever bring that shit up.
And I think it explains why he sold his house in Dearborn, because not only is he an embarrassment to his father, but probably the entire city of Dearborn, if I'm being honest. I would not show my face in Dearborn if I was AB.
Dude, it's not an easy thing being like I mean, not that AB is not a Zionist, but like the fact that you work with a Zionist and you're now associated so deeply with that show, yeah, it's kind of fucked. But yeah, I just also find it funny that Ethan is literally like they're flailing right now. What do you guys think about my prediction about within 2 years, Ethan and Ela are off the show, or they're gonna like just quit YouTube?
I could see that happening.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels like he's not getting any type of growth with his channel. It's only shrinking. And really, his only enjoyment in the channel comes from belittling other content creators. And if he can't do that anymore, like he's burning the bridge even more so, I guess, with Trisha. Where is he going to go from there? Who else? What other relationships does he have to grind into dust anymore?
Yeah. Like that, he's still. Now go for it.
Sorry. Oh, I was just gonna say his potential audience is shrinking.
Right.
Because the left and the right are basically, they agree on the Israel question and like Zionism, and like he has a very niche, sort of like
true.
Big ego like centrists, and it's just getting smaller and smaller.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because, like, can he even make a right-wing pivot? It's not like he got exposed and canceled by the left wing for being a rapist. He got canceled by being a Zionist, and the right wing they don't embrace Zionists as much as they do rapists.
Yeah, like the biggest creators on the right that are like the biggest creators on the right now are like even separating themselves from Trump, and they're aligning themselves more so with just like a general MAGA audience that is against Israel. So like Ethan doesn't even have a place on the right anymore.
No, that's true.
Final thing that we can, I guess, quickly touch on. Someone mentioned a rapist earlier. Anybody watching the Michael Jackson movie this week?
Oh God,
no.
Oh,
I forgot about that.
No one's watching Michael. I'm just curious what if anyone's going to actually go out and watch that. Support it in a theater.
I'm waiting for the Backrooms, May 29th.
Backrooms.
Oh, that's coming. It looks interesting. It looks like something I don't want to watch in the theater, but it does look it looks interesting.
What about Theo Von, Bus Boys?
Oh yeah, I saw an ad for that.
No, I'm not watching that. I've not even seen a trailer for that. I watched Smile 2 yesterday on Netflix. I had seen the first one in the theater.
You like
I saw
that
the
one?
second one yesterday. I don't like jump scares, but the Smile movies have like good ass jump scares. Like they get
Is
you.
Smile 2 the one with like the blonde pop star girl?
Yes, that's the one.
I think I saw that one. It wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
It
wasn't too bad. It's kind of creative, but like it's more. I prefer like atmosphere and dread. The Smile movies are very much just like straight up jump scares. But
what about Clayface? Have you guys seen anything about the new Clayface movie that's coming out?
No.
It looks pretty dope, I gotta say.
Apparently they like released a trailer for it, and I've seen some screenshots, but
It looks good. It looks like a low budget horror film, which is nice for like a comic book DC movie. So as long as it gets that vibe, I think it should be good. It looks pretty respectable.
Yeah.
To be honest. Next week we're definitely playing the. Oh yeah, so I think we're gonna try. We're aiming for once every 2 weeks, but like, stay on the. You guys might be surprised with 2 episodes 2 weeks in a row. You never know. Okay, we're always in communication and in contact. So
just because, as you say, like you have family obligations and stuff, so it might be nice to have that like break every Sunday, every other Sunday,
every other week. But we're here regardless, folks. We'll always be here. We'll be here for you guys. Thank you so much to everybody who tuned in today. Anybody who came in from Brittany's audience, welcome. Thank you so much for being here and supporting the show. To everybody who sent in a very generous super chat, thank you guys so much for supporting the show. Gentlemen, anything that you guys want to talk about? Anything that anyone in the audience should be looking forward to? Any videos coming soon? Any live streams coming soon?
Right before the stream, I uploaded a new video about the Noah Samson lawsuit.
Oh,
It's
nice.
not the most exciting thing in the world, but I thought I should comment on it. So
yeah, of course. No, that's a good one. Fuck yeah. Okay, so that's a big video.
Yeah.
James, what are you working on?
Well, I'm working on my way through Elden Ring. Kind of got back into that, but
oh sweet.
maybe I'll be trying to react to some more Brittany Simon videos to make amends, I guess, for being too rough or whatever.
Are you playing on stream?
Yeah, I'm gonna
just
try to be playing on stream. But I've been getting roasted by my chat. They're like, "You suck at this game." You
Dude, it's Elden Ring. It's a Bad Pierogies, by the way. Just gifted 20 pounds super chat. Thanks so much, Bad Pierogi. That's very kind and generous.
Shout out.
I'm looking. I bought these. I don't know if you guys can tell. Hot nut, stupid fucking shit.
Damn.
I'm gonna make a hot nut challenge episode sometime this week. So if you guys want to watch me eat these 5 levels of hot nuts, they accommodate 4 people. So I'm gonna get a couple of friends. We're gonna sit here. We're gonna eat some hot nuts. Should be fun.
Okay.
That isn't that fun? Don't you guys want to eat hot nuts? And you guys don't want to play the 6-7 game with me. I already played the 6-7 game.
Yeah,
it would have been fun to do it together. Next time, I'll get you guys to do it once we're a little bit older.
Anthony, how much money have you spent on Legos in the last 2 months?
Okay, I hope my girlfriend's not watching. Like $1,200.
oh my god.
But wait a second. I'm
adds
done
up.
buying for a while.
But they're investments.
They're investments. I can resell them on the aftermarket. But first of all, one of them cost me like $550, $600 with tax. So that was one set. It's a retired set. You can't find it anymore. It was the last one in the country. No, you can't buy it in Lebanon anymore. So if I were to wait for it later, it would have cost me even more. If you're wondering which one it is, it's the Mos Eisley Cantina.
Okay.
I've also, James, I bought a lot of clones. I have 25 clones. I still have not unboxed them. But I have enough for 25. I have enough for a little mini clone army. So I have 25 clones in total now. A bunch of battle droids and ATTE. You're behind. I don't know if you know. I got a lot of shit. I've been, but I'm gonna
check out your second channel.
You gotta check out the second channel, Tino's Playroom. Make sure to subscribe. I'm gonna be building all that shit live on stream. And yeah.
All right.
A lot of Lego, guys. It was a nice, beautiful, lovely stream.
Yeah, it
What
was
time
chill.
is it?
As always.
Shout out
What
to
time is
Brittany.
it?
That was a good conversation.
Great, amazing guest. Is it 4:30 p.m. where you guys are at? You still have a whole way to go, right? 4:20. Let's go. All right, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Everybody who tuned in, thank you so much for supporting and for being here and for the generous super chats. We love and appreciate you all. I'm gonna end the stream. We'll see you. I'll see you guys tomorrow on the channel. And have a good night.
Let's do it. Peace out.
All right. See you later.
Boom. Okay, I don't have that much time. ContraPoints. ContraPoints interview. ContraPoints interview. ContraPoints. How online politics became real life by ContraPoints. Holy shit, this is 3.5 hours? In classic ContraPoint style, it's 3 hours. The 1970s, 3 decades ago.
Look at modern architecture compared to a cathedral.
Right.
You know, how did this happen, Western man? Right? Ridiculous meme posts. We used to be a proper country. And the image attached to that caption is a 7-Eleven ad from the 1970s. So it's like,
really?
Yeah. It's
Wow.
like, look at this advertising image from 3 decades ago.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be better if we were still like that?
Welcome to Doomscroll. I'm your host, Joshua Citarella. My guest is Natalie Wynn, a video essayist and content creator. I have to talk at the EU Parliament later this month.
Really?
About how the left can compete with the online right. What should I tell them?
Did this guy interview Kyle Kalinske?
One reason I have a difficult time answering this question is that a lot of the reasons why the online right has the reach it does are things we would not want to emulate.
Mhm.
For example, a lot of online right commentators are frankly backed by money.
Yep.
Not like crowdfunding money,
Yep.
like institutional money.
Yeah.
Big
money, deep pockets,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. So sometimes it's like, do we want that?
Mm-hmm.
I think that for a lot of people on the left, the idea of having like oligarchs backing you would be kind of defeat the purpose.
Well, the
right?
NGOs,
Yeah.
those
No, that's
exist,
true.
liberal
That's true.
NGOs.
That's
yeah.
true. For a couple years now, people have been
Chorus money, take your chorus money.
talking about like, what if we had a leftist Joe Rogan? Like, do we want a
Oh,
leftist
yeah, I've never heard
Joe
that one
Rogan? Do we
before,
want
yeah.
a leftist Joe Rogan? I don't know. Like, I don't. But would it be useful to have one? Maybe. I'm sure I would hate it. But
What are we even talking about here? Dude, when people are like, we need a holy shit. When people take, we need a leftist Joe Rogan literally, I don't know what to do with that, because we need a short, bald guy with distended guts that does UFC commentary and like loves to smoke weed, but he's just has leftist economic values.
so what? I mean, I think the reality, like if I will lecture men for not wanting to be in a coalition with their mother. Well, I also think I'm going to have to deal with being in a coalition with some kind of leftist manosphere.
Right.
And I'm prepared to just deal with that.
Right.
Right? Like, I think that part of my, like, realistic electoralist idea about politics is accepting that I'm going to have to be in a coalition with a bunch of people I don't like.
Natalie is so lost in the corporate Dems Ios Haas. What the guys? Chat. I don't talk to you that much. What are they talking about when they say I'm in a coalition with a group of people? Like, are we talking about candidates dropping dog whistles to misogynistic men so that the misogynistic men will vote for them? Like, when we're talking about building a coalition, this is the most abstract thing you can possibly imagine. Building a coalition, a nationwide coalition in a country with like 350 million people in it to make these voting blocks. Like, no one knows how the fuck voting works. You find a candidate that you like, you advocate for that candidate. If the candidate loses the primary, you advocate for like the second, I don't know, not the second best thing, but like the lesser of two evils when it gets into the general election. That's what you do. I don't understand this like fucking coalition building that liberal Zionists love to talk about. Coalition building is, I've only seen people talking about building coalitions when it comes to making arbitrary borders to exclude certain groups of people. That, like, I don't know, man. I've heard like some type of intersectionality being talked about by actual leftists that believe in leftist values, and they're like, well, we need to make sure that we're activating these groups of voters. We need to make sure that we're activating working class people, activating immigrants. But is that building coalition, or is that just spreading a message? I don't buy the idea that there's all these different distinct voting blocks that we all need to reach out towards. If you're defining a group of people as being a misogynistic group of people, and I've just accepted that I'm going to have to build a coalition with them, that's not doing as much as you can be doing. What you should be doing is like trying to get those misogynists to be less misogynistic, appeal to some of their other interests, and talk about how it's actually cool to be a passive innate leftist. When the guy said, how are we going to counteract right-wing influencers on social media with left-wing influencers? I have to go speak at some kind of convention. I thought ContraPoints was going to say, well, what we need to do is have interests that appeal to people that are passively left-wing. So more left-wing gym bros, more left-wing cooking channels, more left-wing gun culture or something, like responsible gun culture, like interests that appeal to people that don't serve as rabbit holes to funnel people into the right. They serve as rabbit holes to keep them fucking normal or funnel them into the left. That's what we really need. And of course, when we're talking about like the right wing is more funded by big money, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't be trying to emulate the strategy of funneling people into right-wing politics.
Because that's at a national election in the United States means having the support of a very wide group of people.
You're telling me that 77 million people can't belong to the same subculture?
Yeah, 77 million people are probably not going to look into the camera and say, I'm the same kind of communist you are. Like, it's never going to happen. Which means accepting, like...
Yeah, but then you shouldn't refer to election blocks as different groups of subcultures. You should just try to, like, lay a blanket net to collect people to vote for your candidate. I don't know. I think you're kind of self-defeatist if you're like, oh yeah, I got to reach out to misogynists to get them to vote for me.
It means accepting like a wide amount of ideological diversity. And I think that, I think the reason that Joe Rogan is so
I don't think you need to accept the ideological diversity. You just need to try to win as many votes as possible.
Successful is there's this kind of like front of like, I'll just talk to anyone and everyone is welcome. In practice, that's not really true because he doesn't really have very much in the way of like, I don't think there's ever been a trans person, for example, on Joe Rogan, except maybe Blair White, a conservative, reactionary trans person.
There's an ideological strain to the particular type of guest that
for sure.
Say like libertarian to, whatever kind of skeptic.
But I also think that like the right is so talented, it kind of, in a soft kind of way, they love bomb, right? I've experienced it myself when in periods, this has happened on a recurrent basis for 10 years. Every few months, like some large faction of the online left decides that I am like the villain of the month, right? And it will just be a mess. It doesn't bother me that much anymore because it's kind of become like, well, there's only so many times it can happen before you start like taking it less seriously. But I think that it used to really upset me, as it upsets most people when it happens initially, because it's kind of not. The normal when a bunch of people are screaming at you and telling you you're a horrible person. The ego's instinct is to defend itself, right? But when that's often happened to me, I often am reached out to by people on the right who are like, hey, like I see what's happening to you on Twitter. That's like really horrible what they're saying to you. Like, do you want to come on my podcast sometime?
Right.
Like that's kind of their like recruitment method. Is like they reach out, they sort of exploit the divisiveness and the vitriol of
Bro, I need to be canceled by the left. I need to be canceled by them. Please, if you're watching my stream, cancel me so I can get invites out to Republican podcasts.
Leftist spaces to kind of like lure people out.
So division.
Yeah. Well, and especially because like there is like a genuine kind of like tall poppy syndrome type thing on the left. We've sort of talked about
what
this.
What is tall poppy syndrome?
Okay, so tall poppy syndrome is a notion that like tall grass gets cut, let's say. So like if you rise to a certain level of prominence, the left turns on you. Yeah. And I think part of that is the same hipster mindset that leads leftists to turn on a politician who gets elected.
Yeah.
This is such bullshit. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, Hassan's gotten canceled by the online left. Oh, the online left is the only thing with the tall poppy syndrome. Are you fucking kidding? Oh god, this is so dumb. Just take accountability. Don't say like, oh, I've been targeted by online harassment because I'm the tallest poppy in the field and they want to make sure that all the poppies are cut down to size. Take accountability for what you're actually experiencing criticism for. This is such fucking bullshit with your vague, everyone needs to conform properly to leftist values. Why are you being criticized by leftists? Talk about that. Why are you even entertaining the fact that like being invited onto a right-wing podcast is appealing to you? It wouldn't be appealing to you if you didn't have some type of policies that you agreed with conservatives about. Holy shit. So why don't you take accountability for the policies that conservatives see you espousing and get a glimmer on their eye and see that, oh, maybe ContraPoints is going to be more receptive to my right-wing grift. Maybe fucking talk about that rather than just being like, I've been criticized by the left and the right loves to love bomb people to invite them on. You're fucking, I've been criticized by the left. Wait, have I? I don't know. But I haven't been invited onto any right-wing podcasts. Huh? Mike from PA described her so well. Natalie is now at a point in her life where she's living all comfy and all she does is drink wine. Okay. Drink wine and go online? I don't know about that. That seems like a step too far for me to criticize because I don't know her personally in that regard. I don't know her personal life.
Right. Is that it's like, well, now you're the establishment. There's a little micro version of that happens in influencer world where, I mean, early in my YouTube career, you know, a lot of people, I think I probably have lost a large percentage of my earliest audience because a lot of people liked me because they saw me as this kind of like, you know, a queer transgender underdog who was like they related to. And then I got too big and they don't relate to me anymore and they resent me for getting too big. And it's like, I think that then like caused like a kind of extremely like, you know, stringent moral purity that was expected of me and that I was not able to deliver on.
The degree to which the audience can turn on the creator.
Dude. The fucking self-victimizing here. Oh, people just didn't relate to me anymore because I wasn't an underdog. Okay, but you just said that they cared about your moral purity, that you weren't able to uphold that view of yourself. So it had nothing to do with you being an underdog because you just, in the second half of your sentence, you were talking about how you weren't able to live up to their moral purity. There is no morals about being an underdog.
So is fanatical because it was their like favorite thing. It was that subcultural identity before, and now
no, it wasn't. She didn't say that they didn't care about her because she lost her subcultural identity. She said they didn't care about her because she couldn't live up to their moral purity. Because she betrayed her morals, I guess. I don't know. Did she get rich and betray her morals? I don't know anything about this fucking person. I'm just going off of her own words.
The degree to which the audience can turn on the creator also is fanatical because it was their like, favorite thing. It was that subcultural identity before. And now that they feel in some way betrayed, it's like they just kind of unload all of that kind of parasocial fanaticism into this new outlet of, oh, I actually hate that person. I've hated their stuff the whole time.
And that's not just a leftist thing. Like, I do think that on the right,
I think it's just a social media
everyone
thing.
kind of hates each other on the right too, right? Like, but they're somehow able to like, I think maybe it's because they believe in loyalty on some level. They when it counts, like they come together to support daddy. Whereas the left has
the fuck is she talking about? What the fuck is she talking about? There's a biggest rift in right-wing media influencers in the past fucking 3 decades. It's the biggest rift in right-wing media influencers. And we're talking about, oh, well, the right-wingers love to support each other and they have loyalty to each other. But, you know, the left hates each other too. No, she's like, well, I think the right hates each other a little bit too, but they have loyalty. Then go be a right-winger. Oh my God.
Do this, not really.
I see.
So I don't know. It's not that there's no leftists online, but I also think that like there's a struggle to convey leftist ideas to like less radicalized people. So I mean, I think that's what Joe Rogan's real utility is to the right.
To talk to normal
is that
people.
He seems like a normal guy, right? Or at least there was a time when he seemed like a normal guy. He is now kind of a little bit.
He's moved. But he's also backed off of the Trump stuff too.
No, that's true. But I think
big audience has to include normal people who are not like political ideologues.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I fucking said. You need to have normal people doing non-political things that are innately leftist to reach people like this. Joe Rogan had an audience because he liked to smoke weed and was into martial arts.
Have to do that on the left because if you have a guest who has said, you know, XYZ problematic thing, there'll be a bunch of leftists online screaming at you for platforming fascists or whatever, right? So the temptation is to maintain the boundaries of the cloister.
Well, there's not. This is such a lie, man. There are so many different leftists that talk to problematic people that have done things problematic in the past, and they don't get screamed at online. This is a figment of her own imagination. Like, we can talk about the Channel 5 interviews, Adam Friedland interviewing people. I don't know, when like Hassan, if he gets on Gavin Newsom or something, is he going to be screamed at from the top of the lungs? Give me a fucking break.
I don't know. It's hard to say like what the solution to that is. I mean, like you've had the Democratic politicians like Gavin Newsom like do this where he's like, I'll talk to anyone. Like, yeah, I'll talk to Ben Shapiro. Yeah, I'll talk to but people don't like that on the left. They don't like it.
Yeah.
Or like I know trans
They
people.
don't like it because he agrees with their opinions on things. If he stood up and had a strong conviction in leftist policies and values, they would love it if Gavin Newsom was able to talk to Ben Shapiro or Tucker Carlson. Oh my God. Oh my fucking God. At the end of the day, all of this whinging and moaning about being canceled by the left, it all has to do with her politics. And that's the thing that she seems to be unable to take accountability for. It's not me. I'm not the problem. It's the online left ecosystem. That's the big problem. It's the whole sphere of the online left. They're too thin-skinned. They can't handle a little bit of, I don't know, moral inconsistency, according to her own words. It's just 7.5 minutes. I'm good. I'm good. I don't know. Should we watch more of that? Seems like it's just going to be a lot of, I'm not the problem. It's the online left that's the problem. What do you guys think? Fuck. Ugh. I'm not the problem. Everyone else is the problem. Uh-oh. It's just, you do something that you get criticism for. And instead of taking accountability for that criticism, you say that the online left is too critical of you. Like these same type of criticisms happen in every community. It has nothing to do with the lack of understanding from the left. It has everything to do with your politics that you're advocating for. And so I don't need to listen to fucking 3 hours of you waxing and fucking like complaining about the fact that people don't like you because of your political takes, but then trying to pretend like you're not the issue here. So anyway, all right, everyone, I gotta go. Thanks so much for watching the podcast. I don't know, man. Like, Brittany Simon seems cool. Yeah. Thanks for watching the podcast. Thanks for watching me rant at the end of it here. And everyone have a great rest of your day. And I'll talk to you all later. Peace.